have played like 4 games by now. Would have long forgotten about the UConn game, but having to sit on a loss like that for as long as we have, this game couldn't come soon enough.
All right, Coach, great preview. Best of luck today against Wisconsin in this Friday matinee. Thank you.
Thank you.
That is BYU head coach Kevin Young leading us into today's Keys to the Game, brought to you by your local Ford stores. BYU basketball built Ford proud. Mark Durant, Keys for the Cougs against Wisconsin.
Yeah, well, obviously Wisconsin, one of the best three-point shooting teams in the country. You got to limit their makes. You got to limit their percentage of points off the three. Under 10 made threes, I think, is a good goal for BYU. And then on the other end, BYU's got to do what they do well and get in the paint. Rob Wright, Debanza, and Richie, and they've got to, I think, be plus 10 at least on the 2-point in the paint statistic.
Points in the paint, BYU plus 10, under 10, Wisconsin threes. There we go. All right, the Hyundai Cougar Tip-Off Show coming up next, live from Delta Center in Salt Lake City on the new skin BYU Sports Network.
It's game time. The locker room is tense. You're locked in, focused. Then someone walks in wearing your team's jersey. He knows your name. He grabs a copy of the playbook, but you've never seen him before. Do you trust him? Not a chance. That's exactly how phishing works. A fake face, real damage. Protect your business before the clock runs out. Get the Les Olson Security Suite from Les Olson IT. Go to lesolson.com to learn more.
Rise and shout, day in and day out, with an official BYU card exclusively at Mountain America Credit Union. Get it as debit or credit and in 2 designs. Enjoy more rewards and lower rates. Show that you are loyal, strong, and true. Get the BYU card made for you only at Mountain America. Apply online at macu.com/GoCougs. Insured by NCAA. Membership required based on eligibility. Loans on approved credit.
What if I told you there's an onion that won't make you cry? I'm Patrick Fishburne, PJ golfer and proud BYU alum, and I'm talking about Smiley's onions, grown right here in Utah. Smiley's aren't just sweet and full of flavor, they're also an onion that keeps you from crying. That means no more watery eyes, no goggles, and no more kitchen hacks. Smiley's onions are the perfect kitchen companion to keep your eyes and taste buds happy. Look for Smiley's in the sweet onion aisle. Just spot the bright pink Smiley's packaging to take home a taste of Utah's best. Learn more at Smiley'sOnions.com.
You are listening to BYU Basketball on BYU Radio.
Greg Wrubell here, welcoming you back to Studio B for another season of Coordinator's Corner, brought to you by JCW's, the Burger Boys. Join us Mondays at noon for in-depth football conversations with the Cougs coordinating coaches.
The offense both times was outstanding.
To the very end, I thought our guys fought hard.
Each week, we'll talk defense, offense, special teams, and more as we gear up for the next battle in Cougar football. Tune in to Coordinator's Corner, live on KUMT 107.9 FM and the BYU Radio app, or stream it on demand on BYU Radio or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is the Cougar Tip-Off Show, brought to you by Hyundai. Hyundai, there's joy in every journey. The Cougar Tip-Off Show is also brought to you by the BYU Creamery, serving sweet memories for over 75 years. And by Siegfried and Jensen, helping Utah families for over 35 years. Let's head live to the Utah Eye Center's courtside seats alongside Mark Durant. Here's the voice of the Cougars, Greg Wrubell.
Good afternoon once again, Cougar Nation. Welcome back inside the Delta Center in Salt Lake City for a Friday matinee top 25 showdown between the number 9 BYU Cougars and number 23 Wisconsin Badgers. Second of BYU's 3 games at the home of the Utah Jazz this season. There was the exhibition win over North Carolina in October, today's game, and then one more with Cal Baptist on the back end of next week's multi-team event in Orlando. BYU and CBU will square off here back in 12 days. This is the Hyundai Cougar Tip-Off Show, brought to you by Hyundai. There's joy in every journey. See your Utah Hyundai dealers, proud partners of BYU Athletics. Greg Wrubell and Mark Durant with you for play-by-play and analysis. Our scoreboard host is Jason Shepard, joining us here in Salt Lake City. Coordinating producer Terry South, control board operator Seth Larson, BYU radio engineer is Gary Moss. All right, Saturday at TD Garden in Boston, BYU found itself down 2 starters and then down 20 points. The number 3, UConn. The Cougs then rallied behind A.J. Debanza, and made it a one-possession game by the end of the day. It was an 86-84 loss, but a pretty good showing, all things considered. Mark, without Moo Davis and without Keita for most of the day, BYU almost came all the way back to win. Still no Davis, but Keita starts today. How much can BYU take from the UConn game that hopefully pays off?
Pretty remarkable comeback on the road like that and have a chance to win it at the end. So you have to feel good about that at some level. And I think what you learn from that is that these guys now know that they can play with the very best teams in the nation and have a chance to win those games. And I think they also learned that, when you play in those types of games, it's different. And you need – the tendency is to get sped up and to try and do too much. And I think you saw a lot of that in the first half. AJ trying to force things off the dribble. And I think in the second half they kind of learned, let's just relax a little bit. Let's take what they're giving us, because teams are different. The things you can do against one team, maybe you can't do against UConn. And you got to learn that. And I think they learned that, and just to be more patient. But I think overall it's just a confidence thing that they now know that they played one of the best teams in the country and had a chance to win, and that goes a long way going forward.
Coming up after our break, we'll hear from Wisconsin radio analyst Brian Butch as the Hyundai Cougar Tip-Off Show continues live from Delta Center in Salt Lake City on the new skin, BYU Sports Network.
You need a deck. You want a pool. We have a plan. If you're looking to start a home improvement project, a discounted home equity line of credit from Zions Bank is an easy, affordable way to turn your home's equity into opportunity. Stop by your local branch to get started or visit zionsbank.com/HELOC to learn more. Loan subject to credit approval. Terms and conditions apply. See banker for details. A division of Zions Bank Corporation, NA member FDIC, equal housing lender. NMLS number 467014.
Cougar fans, it's time to gear up and cheer on the team. The BYU store is your #1 source for quality, authentic BYU gear. We've got everything you need to show your Cougar spirit. Get your official Big 12 merch, game day tee, and the latest Nike Authentics, just like the BYU players and coaches wear. Shop the campus store, the arena store, or online at BYUstore.com for the widest selection of BYU clothing and accessories. The BYU store, official outfitter of BYU fans everywhere.
Do you really need to floss your teeth? The saying goes you only have to floss the teeth you want to keep. When brushing or flossing your teeth, have you ever had your gums bleed? Bleeding gums are a key indicator of gum disease, which has been linked to other inflammatory health conditions such as heart disease, Alzheimer's, diabetes, and others. A recent study found COVID-19 patients with gum disease were 22 times more likely to have respiratory complications. Have your teeth regularly cleaned by a dentist or hygienist to prevent disease. Find out more at visityourdentist.org. This message brought to you by eAssist Dental Health Education Foundation.
You are listening to BYU Basketball on BYU Radio.
Meet Marcus Smith.
From childhood on, we're putting things in boxes and categories, and we're making them more and more normal, and they become givens. And the paradox of constant wonder, or living a life of constant wonder, is that the givens are actually gifts, and they're miraculous gifts. And if we can change our hearts to receive and feel and perceive them as gifts, we are changed for the better. I'm committed to that.
See the wonder in all things with Constant Wonder, wherever you get your podcasts.
Coming up, BYU 3-1, Wisconsin 4-0. Just 2 starters back from last season's Wisconsin team that faced BYU in the NCAA tournament last March, but the Badgers have added 3 top-line transfers to the starting group. 4 of Wisconsin's 5 starters are averaging between 12 and 20 points per game. A short time ago, I chatted with former Wisconsin standout and current Badgers broadcaster Brian Butch about the new-look Badgers and what kind of game he expects to see today here in Salt Lake City.
I felt like we were just doing this. It's crazy. There's not that many games in between from the last time we chatted, but it was a great college basketball game. I mean, when we said I still couldn't believe that BYU was a 6 seed, because when you looked at it, said, how in the world does this Wisconsin team have to play BYU? But it was a great college basketball game, and I think we're going to have a great one here. I mean, I always say, if you're not paying attention to college basketball right now, you're missing out, because it's going to deliver. It always delivers, and this is a game that I think is going to be the same thing.
Wisconsin brings a couple of names back from that March game, in particular Blackwell and Winter, and no Tanjay, but Nick Boyd's a pretty good scoring replacement, isn't he?
Well, he has, and he's done a great job from the point guard position, and that's the difference. And really, I'm looking forward to this game. But also, they go out to San Diego and they play Providence on Thanksgiving Day, and then they play the winner of TCU Florida. So this 3-game stretch for this Badger team is really important because you talk about Nick Boyd really being able to score the ball, but that comes from the point guard position. A little bit different from a wing position. John Tanjay, obviously wing position. You had John Blackwell, John Tanjay, both those guys from the wing, but you had a facilitator that was able to get them the ball. As a point guard, when you're a scoring point guard, now all of a sudden the ball's in your hand a lot. What does that do for floor spacing? What does that do as far as getting others involved? So that's kind of good. What I'm going to try to evaluate over these next 3 games for this team is truly what can they do and how does that kind of fit. They played 4 games prior to this, haven't really played anybody.
Yeah. So what's your verdict so far?
I don't know. I'll be honest. They answered all the questions. I mean, they're winning by close to 28 points a game by, all their opponents won every game by 25. So they've done what they've needed to do. They haven't had the close call against the mid-majors. I think this team is a really good basketball team, but they need to be tested. And that's over these next 3 games.
Next few weeks it picks up a lot.
That's what you're gonna be tested. And I think that's a good thing for this team. Now today, pretty big test. So we'll see how it plays out.
What are you and Coach Guard's team looking for from BYU today?
Well, they're going to push it. They're going to get out. They're going to run. They got the 3, as I call it, 3-headed monster as far as what they do. But
and Wisconsin's happy to go that way too, though, right?
Well, absolutely. Wisconsin wants right. It's one of those things that this Wisconsin team, because of the style of play for so long, everybody thinks they play slow. No, they're going to shoot the ball. They're going to shoot a lot of threes. They're going to get out in transition. They want to play fast. But so that obviously kind of whoever manages fast break points, who's ever able to get some threes in transition, that's going to be a part of it. But I look at right point guard for you guys. I think that's the focal point. We know how good he is. We know what he can do as far as scoring the basketball. But is he going to be able to, get others involved? Is Wisconsin going to be able to load up? Is he going to make it difficult? And then I think Wisconsin's a team that's averaging close to 17 turnovers a game. BYU doesn't turn the ball over. Right. So when you look at the overall how this game goes with runs and situations, both teams playing, at different levels. Now, you guys have been tested. You've got 2 games where you've been tested against high-quality teams. You go 1-on-1, really make a great comeback against that UConn team. But overall, this Wisconsin team hasn't been tested against that. So I want to see if they can turn the ball over like they have. Force teams to do that. I think that's going to be a big part of this game. The last part, rebounding the basketball. I mean, you can talk about offensive sets and how you handle this and what you do, but I think rebounding the basketball, that was a concern of mine for this team going into the year. They played an exhibition game against Oklahoma. Oklahoma rebounded them. They end up losing that game in the exhibition. It's an exhibition game. What do you take away from it? I know Greg was doing some things differently, just trying to evaluate his team, so you can't take a whole lot away from that. But now you play another bigger body team, somebody that's going to be able to be physical with you. How do you respond, though? Those are the 2 things early on that I look at.
All right, that's former Wisconsin and pro player and current Badgers broadcaster Brian Butch. BYU fans, if you have any cars on the injured reserve, Doug Smith Kia has some promising new prospects on their new lot in Linden. To see the full scouting report, visit DougSmithKia.com. More of the Cougar Tip-Off Show next on the new skin BYU Sports Network.
On the court, fouls are part of the game, but on your TV, not so much. You don't have to take a timeout from your values to enjoy your favorite shows. That's where VidAngel comes in. VidAngel lets you filter offensive content from movies and shows on Netflix, Prime Video, Paramount Plus, and more, so you can watch more of what you love without the stuff you don't. Now that's something Cougar fans can rise and shout about. Get started today at vidangel.com. VidAngel. Watch more stuff without the bad stuff. It's game time. The locker room is tense. You're locked in, focused. Then someone walks in wearing your team's jersey. He knows your name. He grabs a copy of the playbook. But you've never seen him before. Do you trust him? Not a chance. That's exactly how phishing works. A fake face, real damage. Protect your business before the clock runs out. Get the Les Olson Security Suite from Les Olson IT. Go to lesolson.com to learn more.
Ever feel like the road is out to... Thankfully, Hyundai is always working to ensure it doesn't, with over 130 IIHS Top Safety Awards since 2006. IIHS Top Safety Awards include Top Safety Pick and Top Safety Pick Plus awards to Hyundai vehicles from 2006 to 2025.
All Hyundai vehicles come standard with America's best warranty. Visit your Utah Hyundai dealer, proud partner of BYU Athletics. Call 480-500-7931 for details.
You are listening to BYU Basketball on BYU Radio.
Hi, it's Lisa from BYU Radio's The Lisa Show podcast. And if you're like more than half of all Americans, you or someone you love is fighting a chronic condition, which is why I recently spoke to my friend Gaynalyn Condi all about learning to live with chronic illness. Here's a sneak peek.
I would say chronic illness is one of those stewardships that you can't always observe.
Tune into The Lisa Show wherever you listen.
Show rolling on from Delta Center. Greg Wrubell, Mark Durant with you for BYU and Wisconsin showdown of top 25 teams. They're adjacent, by the way, in the Ken Pomeroy ratings this week. Wisconsin 16, BYU 17. In the early season Ken Pom metrics, a few numbers jumping out in terms of contrast to Kevin Young's first BYU team last season. The first number is assist rate. BYU ranked 32nd in assist rate last year, 337th so far this year. The second and third numbers are three-point attempt rate and three-point percentage. BYU ranked 25th and 37th last year, 185th and 200th so far this season. It's early, but we're seeing a lot more one-on-one play and a lot more action going to the basket, more penetration than perimeter. Final thoughts before tip-off next here on the new skin, BYU Sports Network.
Thank you for voting Dexter Law the Valley's best law firm for the 16th year. Dexter Law is a full-service law firm offering a wide range of legal services. Since 1995, we have helped more than 25,000 Utahns, both to navigate life's challenges and to make the most of life's opportunities. From accidents to wills and from bankruptcy to business, we are passionate about shouldering your burdens. For a free consultation, visit dexterlaw.com and call or text us today.
It's game time. The locker room is tense. You're locked in, focused. Then someone walks in wearing your team's jersey. He knows your name. He grabs a copy of the playbook. But you've never seen him before. Do you trust him? Not a chance. That's exactly how phishing works. A fake face, real damage. Protect your business before the clock runs out. Get the Les Olson Security Suite from Les Olson IT. Go to lesolson.com to learn more.
Cougar fans, it's time to gear up and cheer on the team. The BYU store is your #1 source for quality, authentic BYU gear. We've got everything you need to show your Cougar spirit. Get your official Big 12 merch, game day tee, and the latest Nike Authentics, just like the BYU players and coaches wear. Shop the campus store, the arena store, or online at BYUstore.com for the widest selection of BYU clothing and accessories. The BYU store, official outfitter of BYU fans everywhere.
You are listening to BYU Basketball on BYU Radio.
What happens when you listen to BYU Radio?
I get to hear all my favorite songs.
No.
I can win cash and prizes?
No.
What else is there?
How about expanding your horizons and exciting your imagination?
Oh, that's good too.
BYU Radio is your one-stop destination for thought-provoking discussions, captivating interviews, and entertaining stories.
So you're saying the BYU Radio podcasts are kind of food for my brain?
Exactly. Download the BYU Radio app or listen wherever you get your podcasts.
The Cougar Tip-Off Show rolls on. Here's Greg Wrubell.
All right, so a quick final word before tip-off for you today. No Moo Davis for a third straight game. In their first game without him, they went Dawson Baker. Second game without him, they went to Mihailo Boskovic. Back to Dawson Baker today.
I actually liked a lot of the things Mihailo did, but he just couldn't hit a three, and they just need someone that can hit it. Dawson hit a couple. You hit a big one late in that game. They just need a scorer because teams are going to focus so much on stopping Richie and AJ and Rob. You need a guy out there who can hit the shot, and it was Dawson last game, so he gets the nod.
Tip-off of BYU and Wisconsin is coming up right after this. This has been the Hyundai Cougar Tip-Off Show from Delta Center in Salt Lake City on the new skin, BYU Sports Network.
On the court, fouls are part of the game, but on your TV, not so much. You don't have to take a timeout from your values to enjoy your favorite shows. That's where VidAngel comes in. VidAngel lets you filter offensive content from movies and shows on Netflix, Prime Video, Paramount Plus, and more, so you can watch more of what you love without the stuff you don't. Now that's something Cougar fans can rise and shout about. Get started today at vidangel.com. VidAngel. Watch more stuff without the bad stuff.
At Dexter Law, we have helped thousands of Utahns who have been injured in car accidents. Insurance companies have attorneys fighting for them. You should too. In fact, an IRC study found that those represented by an attorney receive 3.7 times more money than those without an attorney. If you've been injured through no fault of your own, allow us to shoulder your burden and help you to be fairly compensated. For a free consultation, visit dexterlaw.com and call or text us today.
You need another bathroom. You want a back patio retreat. We have a plan. If you're looking to start a home improvement project, a discounted home equity line of credit from Zions Bank is an easy, affordable way to turn your home's equity into opportunity. Stop by your local branch to get started or visit zionsbank.com/HELOC to learn more. Loan subject to credit approval. Terms and conditions apply. See banker for details. A division of Zions Bank Corporation, N.A., member FDIC, equal housing lender. NMLS number 467014.
You are listening to BYU Basketball on BYU Radio.
It's time for BYU Football with Kalani Sitake, brought to you by Intermountain Health, the official medical provider of BYU Athletics. Get your game day insights straight from the source as BYU head coach Kalani Sitake takes us through the latest news in our Big 12 season. Preview upcoming games and discuss each week's triumphs and setbacks. New episodes are every Tuesday evening at 6:30. Listen to BYU Football with Kalani Sitake live on Local 107.9 in the BYU Radio app or on demand wherever you get your podcasts.
Cougar fans, it's time to play BYU basketball.
Wide open Dawson Baker, shot maker.
Play-by-play coverage of BYU basketball is brought to you by Big O Tires. Stop by your locally owned and operated Big O Tires, the team you trust. By Ken Garth, we hear you. By Smith's, fresh for everyone. And by New Skin, discover the best you. This is BYU basketball.
Chases it down for the reset. Richie will try it from three and score it!
On the New Skin, BYU Sports Network.
Before starters, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the New Skin, BYU Sports Network.
This is BYU Radio on KBYU FM HD2 Provo. You are listening to BYU basketball on BYU Radio.
All right, time now for the BYU Salt Lake Center tip-off. Discover your why in the heart of Salt Lake City. Learn more at slc.byu.edu. The number 23 Wisconsin Badgers, coached by Greg Gard in his 11th season in Madison. 217 and 117 his career record. This year's team is 4-0. Starting at the point, number 2, Nick Boyd, 6'3", 175 senior from Garnerville, New York, and a transfer from San Diego State, and prior to that, FAU, where he made it to the Final Four. At the 2, number 25, John Blackwell, 6'4", 203 junior from Bloomfield Hills, Michigan. At the 3, number 7, Andrew Rohde. Rohde, 6'6", 200, a senior from Brookfield, Wisconsin, and a transfer from Virginia, prior to that, St. Thomas. At the 4, number 22, Austin Rapp, 6'10", 230 sophomore from Melbourne, Australia, transfers from Portland out of the WCC. And the starting center, number 31, Nolan Winter, 7', 235 junior from Lakeville, Minnesota. Those are the Wisconsin Badgers in white with red, BYU in black with royal blue and white, introduced to you by Mark Durant.
At the point guard for the Cougars, number 1, Rob Wright, the 3rd, the sophomore. At the 2, number 25, getting the nod is Dawson Baker, the junior. Of course, the 3 man is number 15, Richie Saunders, the senior. Freshman, number 3, A.J. Devansa. And the big fella, the man in the middle, is number 13, Keba Keita. He's a senior. That's your starting 5 for the 3-1 Cougars. 1-1 in neutral site games, coached by Kevin Young in Season 2.
Starting lineups presented by Mountain America, the official credit union of BYU Athletics. Great to have you with us for this Friday matinee. Greg Grubel, Mark Durant, and Jason Shepard joining us here at our concourse location, Delta Center. Officials for today's game, Kip Kissinger, Brooke Wells, and DJ Karstensen.
They're playing on the Emirates NBA Cup Utah Jazz floor, which is base purple with the NBA Cup trophy represented in each key. We have a college three-point line and an NBA three-point line. If history's any indication, BYU will disregard the college three-point line and take all their threes from NBA distance.
Yeah, but even with that, this building has been good to BYU, and this may be a cure for BYU's three-point shooting because this has been a home court north for them in this building.
BYU has won 19 of its last 20 games in this building, 24-5 all time on the home floor of the Utah Jazz. 30th regular season game in Salt Lake City on the Jazz home floor for the BYU Cougars. Wisconsin controls the opening tap. A drive and send out from Rhodey, high to Winter. Left wing Blackwell, stripe extended. John Blackwell on the wing to Winter, and they cycle it high to Nick Boyd. Nick Boyd, the San Diego State transfer. High to Rapp for three. It's off the back rim, and Rob Wright had the rebound. It goes out of his hands, out of bounds. So BYU gets the miss, can't find the rebound, and Wisconsin gets an extended possession to open the game.
It's always a challenge with a three-point shooting team because when they do miss, it's a long rebound, and even though BYU had good position, it was a long outside rebound knocked out of bounds.
This is a second chance points possession now for Wisconsin. Driving, blocked is Nick Boyd by Keba Keita. And then on the other end, Andrew Rhodey steals the cross-court pass, drives in, reverse lay-in good. Andrew Rhodey makes it 2-0 Wisconsin. BYU turned it over, and Wisconsin turned that turnover into points. A.J. DiBonsa now to Keba Keita. Straddling the three-point line. Richie Saunders hesitation, driving kick, Rob Wright, the third, left corner. Bobbled by Baker up top. He'll regain on the H in Utah. Part of the Utah Jazz logo at center court. The NBA Cup trophy also emblazoned at center court. Rob Wright, the third. Lobs it for Keba. Keba collects it, goes back up with it, and scores it. Layup to Keba Keita. Right beneath the basket, we're tied at 2.
That wasn't pretty, but they had switched, so Keba had a guard on him, and just getting it to him was the battle, and they did.
A pick and roll to Nolan Winter. He'll take it into the paint. Jump hook off the window short, got his own rebound. Reset, jump hook again, rattles it home. Second chance points for Wisconsin. Nolan Winter with 2.
Keba did a good job initially. It was good position for the rebound. Didn't get his hands up. Went right over his head.
Wisconsin 4 and BYU 2. One-hand whip from Rob Wright III to Richie Saunders on the right wing. He'll take Rhodey to the baseline. Cut off on the end line by Rhodey to the cutting Rob Wright. Rob Wright scoop and miss at the rim. Layup missed by BYU. 4-2 Wisconsin. And Badgers the other way. John Blackwell, right wing. Will go to the trailer Nolan Winter. Straightaway 3. Top of the key. Front rims it. Rebound Rob Wright. Rob will take it past the timeline. Cross-court right wing, Dawson Baker. Baker back to Rob on the angle left. Now stripe extended left side to DiBonsa. A.J. drives the base. Cut off on the block. Out to Baker for 3 in the lead, and there it is. Dawson Baker, shot maker. Three-pointer for BYU. Cougs have their first lead of this game. It comes on a Mountain America Credit Union three-pointer brought to you by Mountain America, the official credit union of BYU Athletics. Cougs take a 5-4 lead.
It's good to see one go in right off the bat. That shooting is contagious.
Winter, right wing to Boyd. He'll launch from 3. Miss it. Offensive rebound, reset, score. No, missed it off the rim, but second chance point opportunity for John Blackwell. We're already seeing BYU lose defensive rebounds to Wisconsin. 5-4 Cougs with 7:21 to play till halftime.
There was 3 Cougars in the paint, and he goes up and gets it. Blackwell goes up and gets it. And every point, really, if he gets points from the free throw line here as he makes the first, have come on second chance opportunities. So BYU's getting the initial stop, but not getting the rebound.
Today's game brought to you by Siegfried & Jensen. Siegfried & Jensen, helping Utah families for over 30 years. Learn more at siegfriedandjensen.com. John Blackwell with his first point of the day. He's averaging 19.5 coming into the day. Nick Boyd's averaging 20 on the number. So Boyd scored 80, and A.J. DiBonsa scored 81 for their respective teams through the first 4 games. Hadim Boop is in, so Keba Keita got not even 3 minutes in, and so maybe a pitch count for Keba coming off that bell ringer in Boston. Blackwell, by the way, made both free throws, puts Wisconsin in front 6-5. A.J. for 3, and that's in and out from the left wing. Badgers the ball, chance to take a lead. 3 for Rapp is an air ball. It'll be BYU the other way with 16:57 to play here in the first half. BYU and Wisconsin, ranked versus ranked here in Salt Lake City. We're brought to you by Bailey's Moving and Storage. We help you manage moving so you can focus on making memories.
0 for 4 from 3 for Wisconsin is a good sign, but they are getting good looks, just not hitting them.
DeBonsa in the left corner. Is going to back down on Austin Rapp, the Portland transfer. Still on the dribble is DeBonsa to the middle. Terminates and gives it up to Rob Wright III. Rob, outside the three-point line left, gets into the paint. Between the legs dribble out to Richie Saunders for three. And that's another Mountain America Credit Union three-pointer. Richie Saunders, who went 0 for 7 from deep in Boston, knocks down the early triple, and BYU takes the 8-6 lead. First 2-point lead for BYU today.
A good ball movement, finding Richie in rhythm.
Blackwell for three in the lead. No. Another offensive rebound for Wisconsin. A reset to Rapp. Rapp will hand to Rhodey, and now the right wing, it's Blackwell. Jab. Thought about the three, thought again about the three, and starts the dribble topside. They go high-low, beneath the basket, Rapp up and miss the lay-in. Cougs will take that. Rob Wright on the defensive rebound. Under 16 to play until halftime. And then Rob Wright has his pocket picked and then fouls, and so we'll take a break, and it'll be Wisconsin basketball after this. 8-6 BYU, 15:54 to play. Wisconsin basketball next on the new skin, BYU Sports Network.
You need a deck. You want a pool. We have a plan. If you're looking to start a home improvement project, a discounted home equity line of credit from Zions Bank is an easy, affordable way to turn your home's equity into opportunity. Stop by your local branch to get started or visit zionsbank.com/HELOC to learn more. Loan subject to credit approval. Terms and conditions apply. See banker for details. A division of Zions Bank Corporation, N.A. member FDIC, equal housing lender. NMLS number 467014.
Hey there. Yeah, there's room for another flag, or sticker, or license plate frame. Superfan, you really give new meaning to the term sports car. When it comes to your team, you're all in, all the time, and we're all about it. Is it fun knowing that other fans get hyped up when they see your decked-out car on the way to the game? We thought so. So when it's time to find a new fan-mobile, in the right color, of course, try Ken Garff. Hey, we hear you.
What are some of the best things about BYU Radio? Here's what some of our show hosts have to say.
One of the things that I love about being a part of the BYU Radio family is that this is a group of people that comes to work every day saying, what don't I know? And what can I learn? What can I find out today that I can share with the people who listen to my show? And that's a great group of folks to be around.
I love that you modeled that on Top of Mind.
And I think you do it on In Good Faith as well.
You can listen to all our shows wherever you get your podcasts.
This is BYU Basketball on the new skin, BYU Sports Network.
Today's game is brought to you by the BYU Salt Lake Center. Learn more at slc.byu.edu. Numbers you like: BYU 3 of 5 from the field, 60%, to Wisconsin's 2 for 10, 20%. But you're saying, wait, what? BYU's got 5 shots and Wisconsin's got 10, and they're only 4 minutes in? How does that happen? Well, now to numbers you don't like. Offensive rebounds, Wisconsin 4, BYU 0, turnovers, BYU 2, and Wisconsin 0. And that's the early storyline, 4 minutes in, 8-6, BYU a 2-point lead. Wisconsin making BYU pay by not clearing the glass and a little loose on the handles, and so it'll be Wisconsin basketball coming off a Rob Wright turnover as we come back in. Cougs up 2.
Clearly a little bit sloppy for BYU, but obviously they have the lead, so that's good. What I'd like to see on the rebounding, Greg, is you see a shot go up, and every BYU player just turns in their spot, and I hope it comes to me. Rather than the first thing you got to do, they teach this from grade school, find a man and box him out. Dawson could have easily got that last rebound if he turned and found a man, stepped to him, and then boxed him out. He was in good position, just didn't find him, and that's a basic thing that this team needs to be better at.
Nick Boyd into forecourt, the point guard Boyd, averaging 20 a game. You have to score in this game. A drive and cuff by John Blackwell. Out to Winter on the wing. He'll hand it left side to Jack Janicki. Janicki off the bench. Finds Winter at the high post, right side. He'll back down on Boop. Lost the dribble, got it back, and then turns it over, or is it off of BYU? Oh, they say Wisconsin got it off of Tyler Maruss, and so it'll stay Badger ball with a 5-second shot clock and a 15:30 first-half game clock. Maruss into the game for the Cougs. Cougar lineup right now is Wright, DeBonsa, Saunders, Boop, and Maruss. Down to 4, down to 3 for Boyd. He'll drive, float it from 15 feet, in and out. Tip no good. Rebound on the baseline. Rob Wright collects. The Cougars clear the glass. Get to Richie Saunders in forecourt left side. Richie will come cross court and take a bump out front. That'll be a foul on Wisconsin. Kip Kissinger makes the call. It's a hold. It'll be BYU on the sideline. Foul situation. BYU with 2. Wisconsin now with its first. And that goes against Nick Boyd. So 1 foul, no points for Nick Boyd. Made the Final Four with FAU back in 2023. Three of 4 games this year, he scored 21 or more. DiBanza up top. Starts left, now back to the right on a 10-second shot clock. AJ into a 3. Pull, fires short. That was short from the fingertips. Rebound, Wisconsin. Blackwell, forecourt right side. Ball goes high to Alexis Bieliauskas, the Lithuanian. Another 7-footer in the game. And on the pick and roll, it's Bieliauskas. Out to Boyd. Back over the shoulder on a pop to Bieliauskas for 3. Heavy. Rebound, Tyler Maras knocked out of his hands. Got it back and finds DiBanza on the outlet. Long loping strides by AJ. Kick in the corner to Richie. Pulls it out to Rob Wright for 3, and he knocks it down. That's 3 Mountain American Credit Union 3-pointers. And great ball movement. DiBanza to Saunders to Rob Wright III. The big 3 combined on the bucket.
And 3 different guys have hit a shot, so that is really good news for BYU.
We'll call it an early Zions Bank shot of the game. It's brought to you by Zions Bank. Make smarter plays and build stronger finances with Zions Bank. It's a turnover for Wisconsin on the other end on the travel. And so BYU basketball will allow the 5-point lead. 11-6 is our score.
Blackwell got in the paint, and just that pivot foot was slipped a little bit, so he travels. Good turnover. A couple empty possessions for Wisconsin. BYU 5-point lead.
Mark, we've seen first half 3-point shooting be a real issue for BYU, but so far so good from deep.
Yeah, they look really good. And like you said, that was good ball movement. And so they're getting good looks and then stepping up and hitting it. Clearly they could shoot. We know these guys could shoot, but it's been an issue in the first half, no doubt.
Rob Wright III slowly past the timeline. BYU right to left as we see it, and you hear it here in the first half. Out to Tyler Maras for 3. Another one! Tyler Maras made his first 3 as a Cougar late in the game in Boston, and he's early in this game, launching and firing from 3. Boot nearly forces a turnover on the near sideline, and with that, BYU takes a 14-6 lead. It's a 9-0 BYU run over the last 2:34.
I like Tyler. I'm convinced that he can really help this team, and he just needed to see one go in that happened at UConn, and he shot that with a lot of confidence.
Braden Carrington now runs the point for Nick Boyd. Boyd didn't score in his first stint on the floor. Janicki will drive the base on Rob Wright. Cuts him off. The pass goes out to Rohde on the wing left side. Andrew Rohde straight away. And bobbled by Winter out of bounds. BYU 9-0 run and forcing a Wisconsin turnover, and now the turnovers are even at 2 apiece. BYU's doing a better job defensive rebounding, and they're knocking down threes. 4 for 6 from deep for BYU early. It's 14-6, and the Cougs have the basketball with 13:36 to play here in the first half.
BYU defending that 3-point line well, but not giving up the dribble penetration either, so good defense so far from the Cougars.
Maras left wing, Rob Wright right wing. He's on the Rob Wright wing. Right corner to DiBanza. Short corner back down for AJ. Guarded by Rohde. Back down to the middle. Elevate and score! AJ DiBanza. Little 12-footer. Middle of the key. And the Cougs take a 10-point lead for the first time. 16-6. It's an 11-0 BYU run. And fouled out front is Austin Rapp. He got held by Richie Saunders. We'll see Dominique Diomande come into the game for BYU. 16-6 with 13:07 to go. Tremendous start for BYU. The Cougs shooting 6 for 9 from the field and 4 for 6 from deep.
I love that jumper from AJ. Really hard to stop. He just backs his guy down, a little fadeaway. That's as NBA as you could get.
I was going to say that is an NBA-looking move here on the home floor of the Utah Jazz. Braden Carrington off the pine. Left wing and now topside Blackwell. He'll cuff it, stop at 10 feet, pop it, and miss it. DiBanza grabs the rebound and will take it himself. Now ahead to Richie Saunders on the kick ahead. Richie will drive, float, and miss. Tip. Yes! Hadim Boop on the follow. It's a 13-0 BYU run and a 12-point lead at 18-6. 2 for Hadim on the follow.
I don't know if he was trying to do that, but he just got a hand on it. There's a 3 from Wisconsin.
First of the day, Braden Carrington knocks it down from the left side. Ends a 13-0 BYU run, 18-9. The Cougar lead down to 9. And Wisconsin fouls out front. It'll stay Cougar basketball with 12:25 to play here in half number 1. BYU basketball is brought to you by All Pro Capital. Put your money to work with smart real estate investments. Visit allprocapital.com for more information. All Pro Capital, creating wealth by putting our investors first. We are in the first half here at Delta Center, downtown Salt Lake City. 18-9. BYU a 9-point lead, which was 12 points a moment ago. Diomande on the wing left.
BYU is 7 players with the single bucket in this game, spreading it around.
AJ has room between the rings. Sizing up Blackwell. Terminates at the left elbow. High to Richie. Richie trying to get past Carrington. Bobbles with it. And now kicks out to Tyler for an open three. And that's short. That was the NBA line. And yet tracked down by Dominique Diomande. Offensive rebound for BYU. That NBA line is so tempting, but it's farther back than you need to be in this college game.
Well, Diamande's all energy. There's another foul out front. They're really trying to be physical with AJ, and
they tried to sell it for a foul against AJ, but he draws the foul instead. He drew 9 fouls at TD Garden last Saturday, and he draws the foul and takes us to a timeout. Greg Gard says that AJ shoved off. That was not the call. It's a Wisconsin foul, and that was on Boyd. Or was it not? I'm not sure Boyd was even on the floor for that. I think they gave the foul to the wrong number. We'll reset the foul allocation in a moment, but we can tell you it's foul number 4 on the Badgers to BYU's 3, and takes us to a timeout with 11:53 to go in the first half. BYU leading at 18-9 on the new skin, BYU Sports Network.
Timeout, Cougar fans. Are you ready to slam dunk dinner? Introducing Beehive Meals, your all-star for easy family dinners. Beehive Meals does all the prep work so you don't have to, then delivers 10 frozen meals right to your door. Just pop them in a slow cooker and you're set for a buzzer beater and flavor. Beehive Meals is the ultimate assist for busy families. Now available for shipping, so there'll be no more missed shots at dinner. Beehive Meals has got you covered. Visit beehivemeals.com and make tonight's dinner the winning play.
Trip feels big.
Yeah, okay. Hi.
On a scale from 1 to 5,
I would give Siegfried and Jensen
5 stars.
5 stars. 5 stars.
If there was more stars in the constellation, they'd get more.
They've been amazing to work with.
They care about people, and I want to say thank you.
Thank you. I want to thank them for everything that they did for me, and I would highly recommend them.
They were wonderful.
Here for you 24/7.
Call Siegfried and Jensen.
Actually, I did leave him a really good review on Google, so.
You are listening to BYU Basketball on BYU Radio.
This is Lauren McLean for Her Why. Kendall Kovic's collegiate tennis career was not going well, and then she sustained an injury.
When I kind of thought that this might not be something that I could do anymore, I honestly had no idea what I wanted to do with my life and didn't see much purpose in life.
On the Her Why podcast, Kendall explains how transferring to BYU helped to bring joy back into her life. And make sure you subscribe to Her Why so you don't miss an episode.
You're listening to BYU Basketball on the new skin, BYU Sports Network. Here's Jason Shepard with a scoreboard update.
It's pretty rare to have afternoon on a Friday college basketball, but we've got 2 teams from the state that are doing it. BYU now, and earlier today, Utah State winning in Charleston, South Carolina over Tulane 96-75. Back over to Greg Wrubell.
Thank you, Jason. BYU basketball in forecourt. Cougs leading Wisconsin 18-9. Richie Saunders hedged out front. Dawson Baker left wing. They'll cycle it Richie right side to Moross. Back to Richie and return to Tyler Moross at the top of the key. He gets past his bigger guard and then turns it over as he tried to send it out to Rob Wright near the timeline. That's a backcourt violation or a straight turnover out of bounds. Either way you call it, that's turnover number 3 for BYU. After taking pretty good care of the ball the last few minutes, Tyler got caught with nowhere to go, and Rob Wright couldn't catch up with that errant pass. So turnover Cougs and 11:33 to go till halftime. Wisconsin basketball. BYU leading it by 9. Game high lead's been 12. Braden Carrington has the lone 3 for Wisconsin right side. Drives from the right wing to the right elbow and hands out to Austin Rapp. Rapp to Carrington, stripe extended right side. He'll pull and fire and score again from 3. Braden Carrington off the bench with back-to-back 3-pointers, and BYU's 12-point lead is now down to 6.
Yeah, those big shots. They really needed him. They couldn't hit anything, and he hits 2 in a row.
Dawson Baker drives, drifts a pass left corner to Moross. He'll terminate high to Rob Wright III. Rob guarded by Carrington. Crosses him over, finds Richie Saunders, 3-point range left. NBA 3, no, it's front-rimmed. And then rebound collected by Wisconsin. Another NBA 3. These are outside the NBA 3-point line. 3-pointer, again outside the NBA line. A miss this time by Rapp. Offensive rebound, stick-back score, Nolan Winter. Offensive rebounds are 5-2 in Wisconsin's favor, and 6-2 is the second chance point advantage. And now BYU's back into a ball game at 4 points. The lead was 12, and the Cougs run a 13-0 run. Since then, it's an 8-0 Wisconsin run to answer on 2 Braden Carrington threes and more second chance points on the winter stickback. BYU's fouled out front. Whoop. I think that tells us that our TV effects feed has gone live.
It's tough because Rob had a good look at that and scored it. Here comes Cabe. He sat for a long time, and they just need him out there. Whatever minutes he can give them tonight, as they got an easy putback basket last time down.
And BYU, which was cruising on a 13-0 run, has seen it go 8-0 the other way. The Cougs are scoreless in 2.5 minutes since going on the 13-0 spurt. AJ on a post-up. Now takes to the high post left side to the middle. Pump fake. Draws the foul as he shoots and misses front rim, but another foul drawn by A.J. DeBonson. This will put him at the free throw line. His first 2 free throw tries of the day are coming up. A.J. shooting 65% at the free throw line through 4 games. He went 7 for 10 from the stripe at UConn. As noted, he drew 9 fouls and took 10 free throws on Saturday at TD Garden. So A.J. to the stripe. BYU looking to end an 8-0 Wisconsin run. 18-14 is our score. 10:23 to play here at Delta Center as A.J. knocks down free throw number 1. Cougar basketball brought to you by Big O Tires. Stop by your locally owned and operated Big O Tires location for expert service and discounts on tires, brakes, oil changes, and more. Find a store near you at BigOTires.com. Big O Tires, the team you trust. All right, foul situation. Sorry, Mark. Foul situation now 6 for Wisconsin to 3 for BYU. A.J. makes them both.
Importantly, that was Carrington that picked up the second foul. He sits. He was the guy that's been hitting a couple threes here.
And so Boyd and Carrington, 2 fouls apiece. Rohde for 3. Back rim. Rebound A.J. BYU's up 6 and with the basketball. Dominique Diomande into forecourt right side to the trailer A.J. on the wing right. DeBonson looks back for instruction. Now takes it into the key and out to Diomande. Rob Wright will shoot it from the free throw line. In, around, and down. It was in, it popped out, and dropped back down for Rob Wright III. Rob's got 2 field goals, the first BYU player with multiple field goals. Straightaway 3. Winter barely glances the iron, and then the rebound bobbled by Blackwell. He had grabbed it. BYU comes the other way. AJ will go Euro to the paint, take a hold on the floor. That's going to be 1-and-1 for BYU and A.J. DeBonson. Another Wisconsin foul. Now the fouls are piling up 7-3. Wisconsin's been whistled 7 times here in the first half, and that's now 3 Wisconsin players with 2 fouls apiece. Blackwell, Carrington, and Boyd all with 2.
It's just so difficult to stop A.J. in transition. If he's coming at you, he's going to either score or get fouled. And so I guess put him on the line at front end here, but A.J. is just so good in that open court with that Euro step. It's almost impossible to stop.
So DeBonson on 4 points to the stripe. He can take BYU's scoring lead if he makes them both. Rob Wright has 5 to pace the Cougs early. 9:40 to play till halftime. A.J. front end, he got it. That was a 1-and-1. BYU basketball presented by Fillmore Spencer, Utah's trusted top-rated local law firm. They can play offense, defense, or provide a little coaching. Fillmore Spencer, attorneys at law, solving problems and seizing opportunities for you, your family, and your business. 2nd of 2 for A.J. Good again. He's 4 of 4. And the Cougs lead by double digits again. Nice little 4-0 response after a 8-0 Wisconsin run. 24-14, BYU leads it. The New Zealander, Hayden Jones, in the game for the first time. Has his pocket picked by Rob Wright III. Rob lobs it up. No. Dominique Diomande was the alley-oop recipient, but getting into the passing lane was Austin Rapp, and he tapped away the alley-oop pass. And so out of bounds off of Wisconsin, and Cougar basketball with 9:29 to play in half number 1. 24-14. Wisconsin's large lead was 2 at 4-2. BYU's large lead 12 at 18-6.
Great pick from Rob, and when you see Dominique running alone, you get excited, but good defense.
Turnovers now even 3 apiece. Dawson missing a 3-pointer right wing. BYU now 4 for 9 from the 3-point line. And the Coug lead stays 10 on a 6-0 run over the last minute. So BYU went 2.5 scoreless and then scores 6 quick ones. Austin Rapp will take it from back to front. Gets all the way down the lane, right to the rim, an uncontested lay-in, but he missed it. A.J. DeBonson on the rebound. A no-look to Rob Wright on the arc right side. Fans oohing and ahhing over the dribbling prowess of Rob Wright on the right perimeter. Rob between the circles now. 9 even to play until halftime. DeBonson from the perimeter. Guarded by Janicki. Janicki on the backside of AJ. Turnaround jumper. Nobody's fouled. AJ draws another foul, and 2 more free throws coming up for DeBonsa. This time it's Jack Janicki trying to stay with AJ. And on the fadeaway, hits the side of the rim, but the foul will put AJ at the line for 2 more. And now the foul situation is 8-3, and so we would have to expect a whistle against BYU really soon. This discrepancy's gotten to 5 as AJ goes to the line.
AJ's going to set whatever record there is for free throw attempts for a freshman as this one nestles in.
BYU basketball brought to you by VidAngel, letting you skip the stuff you don't want to see or hear in movies and shows so your home team always wins. Learn more after the game at vidangel.com. And AJ DeBonsa is a perfect 5 for 5 at the free throw line. 1 more coming as BYU's back up 11. If AJ makes here, they tie the game high lead. No! Misses the free throw. Rebounded by Wisconsin. So the lead stays 11, 25-14. AJ's now 5 of 6 at the free throw line. 3-pointer blocked by BYU. And then BYU turns it over on the outlet. And so back-to-back turnovers. Blackwell will drive it, cuff it, take a hit by Baker, and get knocked to the floor. BYU turning over Wisconsin and then turning it over to Wisconsin. Within seconds of each other, those giveaways came. And it ultimately results in Blackwell forcing the issue and drawing a foul. He'll get 2 free throws.
AJ got a piece of that 3, so it landed to Kaba. He had released, so if Kaba goes immediately to AJ, it's great. But he waited too long, and AJ kept calling for it, which probably shouldn't have done, and he's just not going to get there.
Blackwell misses a free throw. That would have ended a BYU run at 7-0. He'll get another chance to end that run with the second free throw. He's 2 of 3 at the line. Blackwell here in the first half. John Blackwell, averaging 19.5 and an 88% free throw shooter, but he misses a moment ago.
Just gets that one to roll in off the rim, but they're a great free throw shooting team. Over 80% is Wisconsin.
84%, number 3 nationally coming into the week. They were leading the nation last year at the free throw line when BYU played them in the NCAA tournament. Rob Wright III, right corner, Dawson Baker. Back to Rob. Rob will drive it, hand off to the cutting Dominique Diomande, and Dominique lays it up and in. Off the assist by Rob Wright. And we'll call that an assist of the game, brought to you by Hoops Vision. Discover what's right for you at hoopsvision.com. The assist by Rob Wright III. BYU takes the 12-point lead, ties the game high cushion at 26-15. Blackwell jabbing from the right wing to the right elbow for the jumper. Front rims it. Rebound AJ. AJ doesn't have numbers. He'll take a high dribble to the right side. Hesitation to the baseline. AJ gets low. Passes out of it to Baker on the wing left. Touch pass, wide open 3 for Dom. And it's in and out. Dominique Diomande will never get a more open look. And a straight miss in the corner. 27-15, BYU by 12. The under 8-minute timeout coming on the whistle. Oh, John Blackwell fouled. Late whistle. They say Rob Wright III got him. Looked like he had the clean strip. Nope, it goes to a foul on Rob Wright III. That's 2 on Rob. He'll sit to end the first half. What will happen now with Rob Wright III on the bench? We're going to see BYU play with a backup point guard for the final 7:39 of the first half, potentially. 27-15, BYU leads it by 12 as Wisconsin's gone scoreless and, rather, no field goals in almost 3 minutes. We'll take a break here on the new skin, BYU Sports Network. Rise and shout, day in and day out, with an official BYU card exclusively at Mountain America Credit Union. Get it as debit or credit and in 2 designs. Enjoy more rewards and lower rates. Show that you are loyal, strong, and true. Get the BYU card made for you only at Mountain America. Apply online at macu.com/GoCougs. Insured by NCAA. Membership required based on eligibility. Loans on approved credit.
Finally, a flight that's actually nice. Book Breeze Airways for nonstop service from Provo to San Bernardino. Breeze makes travel easy with nonstop flights to desirable destinations and flexible, friendly change policies. Relax on board with high-speed Wi-Fi, delicious snacks, and a premium first-class seat in Breeze Ascent. Plan your trip today at flybreeze.com. Breeze Airways. Seriously nice. In partnership with San Bernardino International Airport.
Every day, you are being bombarded with constant messages. Tribute.
Walls and
And not all of them are good. Seek out the good. Search for the positive. Listen to BYU Radio. Our podcasts are filled with fun stories, discussions of faith, self-help, science, and more. Change the frequency of what the world is broadcasting to you. and lock in on the BYU Radio podcasts. Download the BYU Radio app or listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Let's get you back to the Utah Ice Center's courtside seats and rejoin the voice of the Cougars, Greg Wrubell.
Cougar fans, relax this Thanksgiving with Tucano's Brazilian Grill. Enjoy a full traditional Thanksgiving feast plus all your Tucano's favorites. Reserve to dine in or order your home Thanksgiving meal today at tucanos.com. All right, back in here at Delta Center in downtown Salt Lake City. Jazz and Oklahoma City tonight in an Emirates NBA Cup matchup. That'll be an 8 o'clock tip. We had a 2 o'clock tip for BYU and Wisconsin. And we cut back into Wisconsin free throw. Oh, no, there won't be free throws. It'll be out of bounds for Wisconsin. A foul before the break. It was the second on Rob Wright III. So for Rob Wright III, his second foul. John Blackwell, baseline send into the left of the Wisconsin bucket. In the corner to Will Garlock. Garlock, a 7-footer from Middleton, Wisconsin. So we've seen 2 7-footers and a 6'10 Wisconsin big in the game so far. Nick Janicki into the alley, hands off to Garlock. Garlock is fouled as Hadim got caught in the air. Will Garlock gets landed on by Hadim Boop. That'll be foul number 6 against BYU.
Yeah, Garlock should have at least tried to shoot that so he could get to the free throw line, but that's not the bonus yet, so they'll trigger baseline.
Well, a few moments ago it was BYU with 3 fewer fouls than Wisconsin. Now that number's down to 2. Blackwell for 3 knocks it down. John Blackwell, 3-pointer, his first field goal of the game. Makes it a single-digit game, 26-18. The BYU 12-point lead down to 9, and Wisconsin's now made 3 threes to BYU's 4. A.J. DiBonsa, right wing. Open for 3, pull, fire, score. A.J. DiBonsa answers a 3-pointer with a 3-pointer. It's another Mountain America Credit Union 3-pointer. And BYU restores its game-high tying 12-point lead. A low catch by Bieljauskas, and Tyler Morris got him in the back. And so 1-1 on foul number 7. We'll see about Alexis Bieljauskas' free throw stroke because he's not taken a free throw yet this season. Bieljauskas, the 6'10", 235-pound rookie from Kaunas, Lithuania, averaging 13.5 minutes per game. Big number 32, first free throw attempt of the year, is no good. It's a 1-1 front-end miss. BYU on the rebound. The Cougs keep their 12-point lead and have the ball. Maras angle right to DiBonsa. AJ just inside the 3-point line from the right side. Wipes away the hand of Nick Janicki. Will take him to the middle. A soft double, a fade away, a score by A.J. DiBonsa. For A.J., that's going to be 13 here in the first half, 12 here in the first half. BYU by 14 for the first time today, 32-18. Hadim Boop with the steal. BYU's got 2-on-2 the other way, and Hadim drives it all the way for the dunk. Long, loping strides into and through the key to the 10-for-2, the hammer home, and BYU takes a game-high 16-point lead at 34-18.
Beautiful. I mean, he's out there on a big guy beyond the three-point arc. That started with his great aggressive defense. He gets the steal, then showing some handle to get to the rim. That was beautiful.
And that's a Nu Skin Beautiful Play of the Game, brought to you by Nu Skin. Discover the best you. Hadim Boop. And now every BYU player to play today has scored. You've got DiBonsa with 12, and then Rob Wright with 5, Boop now with 4, 3 for Maras, Saunders, and Baker, 2 apiece for Keita and Diamante. It's coming from everywhere as BYU shooting 60% to Wisconsin's 26, and the Cougs lead by 16 for the first time today.
Yeah, that's amazing, 16, but you got to remember this is Wisconsin. They shoot a lot of threes. If they get hot, they're never out of a game, so we have to continue to be diligent on that three-point line. Contest the three-point shot. Don't let them get hot. You saw that NCAA tournament, Greg, game. BYU was up 14 in that second half and up 11 late in the game, and Wisconsin almost won it.
Yeah, BYU had to sweat it out to the very end. 7-0 BYU run in 48 seconds of floor time. Nolan Winter hands to Boyd. Boyd back in the game with 2 fouls, hard to the hole, and driving layup score. The first points of the game for Nick Boyd come with 5:57 to go in the first half. He would not be denied on the drive down the key. AJ, one-hand whip to Richie, deep 3, and it's an air ball. It's an NBA 3 again. A defensive rebound by Winter, and Boop fouls him, so it's 1-1 at the other end. That 3 wasn't close, and much farther back than it needed to be. There's 2 lines on the floor. We always say this in this building, a college line and the Jazz three-point line, the NBA line, and BYU so often takes their threes from well outside the NBA line. Not that they can't make them, but that was an air ball because it was an NBA three. Richie's not going to miss it that badly, usually outside the college line.
Well, Rob Wright checks in, so he's going to roll the dice with the 2 fouls on Rob. And Richie did hit that first one, but the next 2 have not been particularly close for him.
34-20. Wisconsin has ended BYU's 7-0 run, and they now make it 3 straight. Nolan Winter knocks down the free throw. That was a front end. 5 for Winter.
Yeah, I think that's 5 fouls in a row, like you said, against Wisconsin to even it up.
Yep, exactly right. After it was 8-3, now it's 8-8. And we're not surprised in the least that that's how it's gone. It always goes that way. 34-22, BYU by 12. The 16-point lead cut to 12, 4 in a row for the Badgers. Winter made both free throws. Dawson Baker spots an opening, gets to the rim. Nicely done by Dawson Baker. Left-handed lay-in and the score by Dawson.
That starts with being so concerned about AJ, it freed up Dawson.
We'll call that a good read of the game by Dawson Baker. Read the defense, saw an opening, and took it all the way to the hoop for 2. BYU by 14, 36-22. Carrington will drive it, cuff it, throw it wildly off the window, but draw a foul. And now it's 6 straight fouls against BYU. 6 consecutive whistles against BYU. Did Rob get it?
That'll be 2 on Richie.
Oh, that's Richie. So it's second on Saunders. Rob already playing with 2. Back to our good read of the game by Dawson Baker. It's brought to you by Deseret Book. Find your next game-changing story when you download the Bookshelf Plus app from Deseret Book. All right, Richie with 2. BYU lead by 14. Carrington shooting 2. And he's got 7 points here in the first half. Knocks down the free throw. Braden Carrington shooting just 60% on his free throws coming in 2 today. 1 for 1 now on this day. Carrington, only 6.5 points per game through 4 games. Has already passed his point per game number at 7 here in the first half. And that's a high arcing free throw that settles home. He's got 8 now to lead all the Badgers. Off the bench he does it. 36-24, the Cougs keep a double-digit lead. Can they keep it to halftime? AJ, a little euro to about 10 feet, ended up lobbing a pass to Kaba, who clears some space and then missed the dunk. But he's fouled. He'll get 2 free throws, but have to earn them now from the free throw line when that looked to be an easy 2 for Kaba. Somehow the dunk rattled out as the rim sprung back. 36-24, Cougar lead a dozen, 4:59 to play until halftime. Kaba has 2, looking for 3 and 4 from the free throw line. Kaba has taken 4 free throws this year and has made all 4.
Well, I like that AJ wants to involve guys like Kaba on that pass, but he was wide open from about 10 feet. He needs to shoot that.
And there's the first miss of the year for Kaba Keita from the free throw line. Cougs have led by double digits most of this first half. But Wisconsin just hanging around. Second by Kaba. Nope. Front rim, not close. 0 for 2, and the lead down to 12, 36-24. Boyd, a euro, and a scoop and a score. Well done by Nick Boyd. And that scoop came from about 8 feet away from the basket, and Wisconsin's made it a 10-point game. 36-26, Badgers battling back in. The Cougar lead of 16 has nearly been cut in half. Richie dribbles into a 3. That's no good. And the rebound, Wisconsin. Knocked out of Winter's hands, and Wisconsin coming up. BYU had this thing in cruise control, and Badgers have come right back into it.
They've gone away from the 3, which is smart. They weren't hitting it. Now they're getting stuff in the paint.
Austin Rapp to Carrington. Carrington with 8 points off the bench here in the first half to pace Wisconsin. Finds Blackwell right corner. He'll jab on AJ. AJ swatting at the ball. Blackwell nearly turned it over, but BYU didn't see the ball. Loose in the paint. Blackwell now will drive it on 4 and with 3. 10-footer up and good. Blackwell scores. He's got 8 now, and Wisconsin has cut the 16-point lead in half really quickly. Mark, you said that was his danger with this team. It hasn't been necessarily from 3 points, but Wisconsin has got right back into this game. Dawson for 3, and that's not close. Another air ball from outside the NBA three-point line. 3:45 to go till halftime. Disconcerting end to the half for BYU to this point.
Very runny game. Each team making runs at each other.
Boyd steps back. Now starts on DiBanza. Gets to 8 feet. Open 3, Winter. That's front-rimmed. Richie takes it off the 10. Timeout coming on the next whistle. BYU 36, Wisconsin 28. Cougar lead was 16, and now it's 8. Richie, guarded by Boyd. Angle left to Rob Wright III. 15-second shot clock, 3:15 game clock. Crossover by Rob, stops at 10 feet, backs low, pirouette, pass out to Richie. Richie gets all the way to the rim, lays it up and in. Cleverly done by Richie Saunders, right hand off the window. BYU back up 10, 38-28. Wisconsin, though, heating up 4 of its last 5 from the field. For Saunders, that's 5. Gibonsa leads with 12. 8 apiece for Blackwell and Carrington. Another foul on BYU. Since it was 8-3 in fouls, it's gone 7-1 whistles against BYU. 2:54 to go till halftime. Timeout. Wisconsin shooting after this. It's the Cougars 38, the Badgers 28 on the new skin, BYU Sports Network.
Trip feels big.
Yeah, okay. Hi.
On a scale from 1 to 5,
I would give Siegfried and Jensen
5 stars.
5 stars. 5 stars.
If there was more stars in the constellation, they'd get more.
They've been amazing to work with.
They care about people, and I want to say thank you. Thank you.
I want to thank them for everything that they did for me,
And I would highly recommend them.
They were wonderful.
Here for you 24/7.
Call Siegfried and Jensen.
Actually, I did leave him a really good review on Google, so.
Ever feel like the road is out to... Thankfully, Hyundai is always working to ensure it doesn't, with over 130 IIHS Top Safety Awards since 2006. IIHS Top Safety Awards include Top Safety Pick and Top Safety Pick Plus awards to Hyundai vehicles from 2006 to 2025.
All Hyundai vehicles come standard with America's best warranty. Visit your Utah Hyundai dealer, proud partner of BYU Athletics. Call 480-500-7931 for details.
You are listening to BYU Basketball on BYU Radio.
How's it going, everyone? I'm Lauren McLean, and welcome to Royal Legacy, where we dive deep into the family connections of BYU sports. This week, we talk with brother Talon and Berkeley Alfrey from the BYU football team. They share what they've learned playing for Kalani Sitake and the benefits of playing football with your brother.
Getting a ride. He would come pick me up or just advice, talking to him and picking his brain about his experiences. It's been helpful, really helpful to have a built-in mentor to lean on.
Tune into Royal Legacy, wherever you get your podcasts and on the BYU Radio app.
Back to Mark Durant and the voice of the Cougars, Greg Wrubell, on the new skin, BYU Sports Network.
BYU fans, you can score big for game day at Smith's, where you'll find lower prices on over 1,000 items, so you can save even more. Smith's, fresh for everyone. Little dip for BYU in productivity and efficiency late in the first half, but a pretty good first half overall for the BYU Cougars, shooting 56% to Wisconsin's 33%. BYU 36 from deep to Wisconsin's 21. The Cougs have made 5 of 8 free throws, so 3 misses there. 63% is all. Wisconsin 7 for 9, 78 from the stripe. Rebounds are even right now, 16 apiece. Points in the paint in BYU's favor right now at 16-12. Second chance points in Wisconsin's favor at 6-2. We come back to Wisconsin free throws. Austin Rapp, who's not scored yet for Wisconsin, will shoot 2 as BYU's hit the 10 foul tally here in the first half. And the free throw good by Austin Rapp, the former Portland Pilot, the West Coast Conference Freshman of the Year. He led the WCC in three-pointers made and three-point percentage at 6'10", 230. So we'll call him a stretch 4, I think, as he makes both free throws. Nice-looking stroke from Austin Rapp, and it's back to an 8-point game. The Cougar lead had been 16, but BYU could not pull away farther from the Badgers. Indeed, the lead's been cut in half late in the first half. 2:44 to go. Rob Wright III on the right wing. High to Tyler Maruss outside the NBA three-point line. Rob Wright, little crossover, little scoop and a miss at the rim. Missed layup for Rob Wright. 2 missed layups for Rob here in the first half, and that would have made it a 10-point game. And then the other way, a three-pointer miss. Rob Wright on the rebound. He's got Richie ahead. This should be a breakaway lane, and it is. Richie Saunders lays it up and in off the assist from Rob Wright III. And for Rob, that's assist number 4. 5 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists for Rob. BYU back up 10 at 40-30. And the points off of turnovers for BYU. And then the other way, Wisconsin gives it away.
Yeah, Richie got a hand on it, then saving it inbounds, throws it off of a Wisconsin player. He had to really rifle it. It wasn't right next to him, but he's able to pinpoint it off the leg.
So the Badgers now with 5 turnovers to BYU's 4, and the points off of turnovers now in BYU's advantage with 7-6. Timeout called by BYU late here in the first half. So, was that a Wisconsin call timeout, Mark, or was it BYU?
I think it was Wisconsin because
okay,
it was going poorly for them.
Yeah. So Wisconsin calling the timeout. So both teams have called one here in the first half.
That was just a beautiful play from Richie, and he's making some things happen out there. He and Rob Wright. Rob Wright, man, he's getting to the rim. He's missed 2 wide open layups, but otherwise has been phenomenal in this one.
Rob Wright 2 for 4 from the field, and both misses coming, right at the rim. BYU a 10-point lead. You're not complaining much when you lead a ranked team like Wisconsin by double figures, but you also get a little greedy, knowing you've had a lead that's larger than 10 here in the first half. We'll see how the Cougars finish out the final 2:07 of the first 20 minutes. Wisconsin 4-0 on the year, but they beat 4 teams at home they should have beaten: Campbell, Northern Illinois, Ball State, and SIU Edwardsville. BYU with wins over Villanova, Holy Cross, Delaware, and then a loss to UConn last weekend. A.J. DiBonsa with a 20-second shot clock starts at right side. Now takes it down the lane. Stops on the left block on a double team out to Tyler Morus. That 3 is in and out. Offensive rebound tipped by Kaba to Richie, who sticks it back up and in. Let's call that a Hyundai power play of the game, as Kaba has the offensive rebound. He tapped it to Richie Saunders, and that's a power play of the game brought to you by Hyundai. And the full lineup of Hyundai all-wheel drive SUVs, a Badger miss. See your Utah Hyundai dealers, sponsor of the Hyundai power play of the game. BYU now by 12 and the ball. AJ down the lane. AJ hangs, doesn't hit, no foul. Rebound Wisconsin. 42-30 our score. 90 seconds to go till halftime. AJ got right to the rim, and the Cougs have missed a handful of layups here. Otherwise, this lead would be larger. A Euro to the rim by Rapp. He bobbles it, saves it on the baseline. Nearly a travel by Carrington. He'll cuff it and get right to the rim, lay it up, and miss that. And the stick back is good with the foul. 3 looks for Wisconsin. The last goes with a foul on the stick back by Winter. And after BYU got 2 misses on the possession, they couldn't clear the 3rd miss. Wisconsin with a chance for a 3-point play.
I can't believe that foul is on AJ. He didn't do anything. He got pushed in the back. They show the replay. The crowd doesn't like it. Just a terrible call. Either just let it go, but the chance for a 3-point play here, ridiculous.
But it's offensive rebounds and second chance points. They bedeviled BYU early in the half, and they rear their ugly head late, but that's a miss by Winter at the free throw line, so it's no 3-point play, and it's still a 10-point lead for BYU. 42-32, 1 minute to play until the break. BYU will lead at halftime. The question, though, is the margin. BYU this year 2-0 when leading at halftime. Slow bounce for AJ in forecourt. The shot clock is down to 12. BYU can still get a 2-for-1 out of this. AJ hesitation. Sees a double out near the right perimeter. Richie will drive and find Dominique for 3 left corner, and that's in and out. Offensive rebound. Richie back up and sticks back again on the offensive rebound follow.
Richie on the spot.
44-32. BYU by a dozen. Saunders up to 11 now. DiBonsa 12. Those 2 pacing BYU. Offensive rebound BYU and second chance points. The shot clock is 16. The game clock is 19. So Wisconsin can play for something close to a final shot here in the first half. Will they make it a single-digit game on a 3? Or can the Cougs lead by double digits at halftime? And Blackwell trips as he stumbles down the lane. They'll bail him out with the foul call, and it'll be free throws for Blackwell.
It's now 9-1 the last 10 fouls called.
Isn't that crazy? It was 8-3, so the first 11 fouls, 8 against Wisconsin, and the last 10 fouls, you say 9 against BYU, right?
That's right. Cabo with his second, so you've got 5 guys with 2 now. Well, the good news is that foul came a little early, so you're going to have time to get a good look here for BYU to end the half.
7.6. The free throw is missed by John Blackwell. So Blackwell, an 88% free throw shooter, has gone 3 of 5 here in the first half. The Cougar lead should be double digits at halftime. It's 44-32. You don't want to see an offensive rebound off a missed free throw should Blackwell miss it here. The Badgers have had 6 offensive boards here in the first half. Blackwell's second of 2. He's got 8 points on the day. and makes the second. So the Cougs will lead by double digits at halftime, you would think. 44-33 is our score. BYU has to get the final shot of half number one. It'll be Baker into right, and then in forecourt, Marash, Dibonsa, and Saunders. 44-33, BYU by 11. Game-high lead's been 16. Rob takes it in backcourt with 6 and with 5. Baker with 4 and with 3. Baker in the paint, draws a foul, 1.1 to go. It'll be free throws for Dawson Baker on foul number 10. It's a shooting foul anyway. So Baker, chance to extend the BYU lead here before the break. 44-33, 1.1. So Wisconsin will actually be the team able to get the final shot of the half. Dawson Baker shooting 2. 1.1 on the clock. Cougs by 11. Free throw good. Cougs by 12.
They're gonna sub defenders back in, and Cable was going in like, no, Cable, you go back there. We don't want a third foul on you.
Dibonsa, Saunders, Wright, Cada, and Boop all with 2 fouls apiece here in the first half. Xavier Staten will check in. So it's 45-33. BYU will lead by double figures at halftime. 1.1 to go, second of 2 for Dawson Baker. Dawson with 6 here in the first half. This for 7 and a 13-point lead. Free throw, no! And the rebound to Bilyauskas. He will not attempt a shot. BYU a 12-point lead at halftime, 45-33. Halftime recap coming your way next here on the new skin, BYU Sports Network.
Do you want to feel more peace in your life? Well, we think you should be able to feel peace every day. That's why Deseret Bookshelf Plus lets you access books, podcasts, Time Out for Women Talks, and more that will calm your troubled soul right on your phone. In other words, you'll have access to Deseret Books' entire digital audiobook library, wherever you are and whenever you want. Sign up for Bookshelf Plus today at bookshelfplus.com.
Attention BYU students, parents, and faculty. Did you know Quick Quack Car Wash is a proud sponsor of your BYU Cougars? That's right. When we're not keeping cars clean, we're painting our faces and rooting for the Cougs, just like you. Our wash packages will get you soap, shine, protected, and ready for game day. Plus, our in-wash light show, seasonal scented washes, and projector experience will keep you feeling great after a big win all week long. Stop in today to get the best clean your car can be with Quick Quack Car Wash, the official wash of BYU Athletics.
BYU food to go.
Hi. Okay, I know this sounds so weird, but could I get 700 sheets of your mint brownies for next Saturday?
Absolutely. Do you want nuts on these?
Sorry, you probably didn't hear me. I need 700 sheets of mint brownies next Saturday.
Yeah, no problem.
Food to go can actually make 700 sheets of brownies for me and my event?
Yeah, that's just fine.
Oh, okay, then I'll take half with, half without.
For events of any size, use BYU Food to Go. Pick up or delivery. Order online at dining.byu.edu or call us at 801-422-5001.
You are listening to BYU Basketball on BYU Radio.
This year on In Good Faith has taught me more than ever.
Steve Perry, host of In Good Faith.
Something that I've come to believe is really important. God has created so many people. The clues of who God is show up in the people he has created. And as I reach out and learn, I'm learning about them. I'm learning about me. I'm learning about who God is by collecting the clues to the puzzle that he has dispersed across the world.
Open your mind and heart with In Good Faith, wherever you get your podcasts.
The first half is complete. You're tuned to Cougar Halftime Live. Let's join your host, Jason Shepard.
Entertaining first half from downtown Salt Lake City here at the Delta Center. BYU leading Wisconsin by 12, 45-33 coming up on Cougar Halftime Live. We'll break down a little bit on what's going on the floor here, which is very purple right now. Jazz in action tonight. That's why they're playing on this purple court as the Jazz host the Oklahoma City Thunder. We'll also preview tomorrow's massive football game and big matches tonight for both BYU women's soccer and BYU women's volleyball. We'll get to all that coming up during Cougar Halftime Live. But first, let's stay here at the Utah Ice Center's courtside seats on concourse level and rejoin the voice of the Cougars, Greg Wrubell.
Thank you, Jason. 45-33 is our halftime score. BYU shoots 53% from the field, 31% from the arc, and 60% from the free throw line. Wisconsin shoots 32%, 19%, and 71% respectively. Wisconsin hanging in thanks to free throw shooting. They were 10 of 14 in the first half, whereas BYU was 6 of 10. So the Cougars leaving points on the floor in 4 missed free throws and 3 missed layups. But overall, Mark, pretty good first half and a 12-point lead. BYU led by A.J. DiBonso's 12 points, Richie Saunders 11 points, and Rob Wright III at 5 points, 4 rebounds, and 5 assists in a very comprehensive first half for him. BYU turned it over only 4 times. 2 turnovers came in like the first minute and a half of the game, so only 2 turnovers the rest of the way, and BYU's been a good ball security team this year. So 4 turnovers for BYU, 5 for the Badgers. Cougs outscore the Badgers in points off of turnovers 9-6. Rebounding battle 21-20 in BYU's favor. Offensive rebounding battle in Wisconsin's favor 6-4. They outscore BYU 8-6 on second chance points, but 2 big Richie Saunders offensive rebound stickbacks late in the first half, keeping the Cougar lead at double figures. It's 45-33.
Yeah, overall, a really nice performance. You mentioned a couple things. I would say, I think the last 10 minutes they didn't make a 3. They were pretty good early, and then so 5 of 16, not great, not terrible, but overall, great job. I guess the one thing concern you have is you got to make hay when the sun shines, and the sun was shining in that first half. BYU was in a good position to really, 12 is nice, could have been 20. And I worry that the Wisconsin shooting 3 of 16, that's not going to happen in the second half. So you just want to cushion that as much as you can. But overall, really nice job from BYU.
All right, 45-33 is our halftime score. Now with more of Cougar Halftime Live, here's Jason Shepard at Delta Center in Salt Lake City. Shep.
Thank you very much, Greg. BYU leading by 12, and despite the runs back and forth, BYU, for the most part, in control of this game. Obviously, BYU had a larger lead of 16 than what it is right now, but for the most part, the Cougars hovering in that double-digit lead, and certainly a really nice bounce-back game after the loss last week against number 3 UConn in Boston. All right, there is one other local team that has played a college basketball game today, not in the state of Utah. The Utah State Aggies in Charleston, South Carolina, taking on the Tulane Green Wave. The Aggies improved to 5-0 as they get the 21-point win. 96-75 is the final score. So again, Utah State staying undefeated on this very young season at 5-0. Checking out other Big 12 action, BYU obviously playing this early on a Friday afternoon. No other team has tipped off yet. However, in about 90 minutes, Cincinnati will be taking on number 6 Louisville. That game will be played in Cincinnati, so that'll be a home game for the Bearcats. Also at 4:30 Mountain Time, West Virginia will face Clemson on the road. Colorado will host UC Davis tonight at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. Number 15, Texas Tech. This is a good one. 7:30 is the tip time on the CBS Sports Network if you'd like to check it out. They will be playing this game in Nassau in the Bahamas. It is number 15 Texas Tech and number 1 Purdue again tonight at 7:30. Also tonight, this game in Kansas City. So pretty close to both of these teams. Closer for K-State, but definitely not a far drive for the Cornhusker fans. K-State and Nebraska will meet up today. Both teams 5-0 on the season. That game will tip off at 7:30 p.m. Mountain Time. Coming up later on tonight, 5 o'clock Mountain Time, BYU women's soccer taking on UCLA. The Cougars are the 5 seed. UCLA is the 4 seed. This game will be played in Palo Alto, California, an opportunity to advance to the Sweet 16 if BYU can continue the momentum that they've got on since going to the Big 12 tournament. Again, that game getting underway tonight at 5 o'clock. You can check it out on ESPN+. And then a little bit closer to home tonight, it is number 25 BYU women's volleyball taking on number 13 Kansas at the Smith Fieldhouse as the Cougars continue their 3-match homestand. This is a game that you can see at 6 p.m. Mountain Time on ESPN+. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll preview tomorrow's college football game. BYU, oh my goodness, to say it is a big game would be an understatement. Cougs got to have it at Cincinnati. We'll preview that next. Here, though, at the Delta Center, it is 45-33, BYU leading Wisconsin on the new skin, BYU Sports Network.
At Intermountain Health, we believe life is a circle. May yours surround you with insight, a healthy perspective, trust, and reassurance. The belief that our differences aren't that different, and compassion just when you need it most. Life is a circle. May yours help you live the healthiest life possible. Intermountain Health.
Moving is so stressful. Loading everything in a truck, hoping nothing breaks, and trying to juggle the kids and the dog in the middle of it all is enough to drive anyone crazy. But it doesn't have to be that way. The local movers at Bailey's Moving and Storage have the expertise to move you and the family across town, the state, or even the world. They'll do it fast and they're very experienced. They've been moving people to and from Utah and beyond since 1952. They even moved BYU Athletics. Located in Salt Lake and Orem or online at baileysallied.com.
What does it mean to be a Cougar Club member? It means you're more than just a fan. You're part of the team. You're helping BYU's 502 student athletes succeed on the field, in the classroom, and in life. From scholarships to facilities to unforgettable game day moments, none of it happens without Cougar Club members like you. Stand with the Y, strengthen the tradition. Join the Cougar Club today at cougarclub.com. Cougar Club, powering purpose-driven athletics since 1964.
You are listening to BYU Basketball on BYU Radio.
I'm Julie Rose, host of the Top of Mind podcast. We are often really uncomfortable with grief, our own as well as others. What if we weren't?
What I was trying to do was integrate it, to honor the fact that grief was always going to be a part of my life.
What would it take to make grief more normal in our lives and communities? Listen to Top of Mind anywhere you find podcasts, and then continue the conversation with us. Find us on social media at Top of Mind Pod.
Now, back to Cougar Halftime Live with Jason Shepard on the new skin, BYU Sports Network.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to BYU Basketball on the new skin, BYU Sports Network.
This is BYU Radio on KBYU FM HD2 Provo. You are listening to BYU Basketball on BYU Radio.
All right, coming up tomorrow afternoon at the Marriott Center, 2 p.m. tip time as BYU women's basketball plays in-state foe Weber State. I'll have the call for you on the new skin BYU Sports Network beginning at 2 p.m. Cougars staying undefeated as they get the win midweek in Missoula against Montana. And then tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Mountain Time kickoff, 4 o'clock Mountain Time pregame show. It is BYU at Cincinnati. And look, there are a lot of scenarios for BYU to get to Arlington. Taking care of business on their own, not worrying about tiebreakers after the fact. That's what BYU's trying to avoid. It is a massive, massive game for the BYU Cougars. They have an opportunity to put things in the bag for themselves as they continue to try and reach their goal of playing in the Big 12 title game again. BYU on the road at Cincinnati, 4 p.m. Mountain Time with the pregame, and then the kickoff from Cincinnati is at 6 Mountain Time. All right, that's going to do it. Coming up, second half with Greg and Mark. Right after this, it's a 12-point lead for the Cougars on the new skin, BYU Sports Network.
On the court, fouls are part of the game, but on your TV, not so much. You don't have to take a timeout from your values to enjoy your favorite shows. That's where VidAngel comes in. VidAngel lets you filter offensive content from movies and shows on Netflix, Prime Video, Paramount Plus, and more, so you can watch more of what you love without the stuff you don't. Now that's something Cougar fans can rise and shout about. Get started today at vidangel.com. VidAngel. Watch more stuff without the bad stuff.
Every great team knows the value of the assist. At the BYU Salt Lake Center, you won't go it alone. Our professors, advisors, and small classes are here to set you up for success on your time, at your pace. Conveniently located downtown and built around your busy life, we'll help you make the shot that counts. Ready for your next assist? Visit slc.byu.edu.
BYU Continuing Education, inspiring lifelong learning.
Thank you for voting Dexter Law the Valley's best law firm for the 16th year. Since 1995, we have helped more than 25,000 Utahns face life's challenges and opportunities. Studies show that those represented by an attorney obtain significantly better results than those without an attorney. Allow us to be your voice and achieve the best possible outcome for you and your family. Visit dexterlaw.com and call or text us today.
You are listening to BYU Basketball on BYU Radio.
Hungry for something good to listen to? Come on into BYU Radio, where we're cooking up a delicious 5-course meal. On the menu today, we start with a top-of-mind appetizer, an in-good-faith salad, and some delicious Constant Wonder bread. The main course is the Lisa Show, and a generous serving of appleseed pie a la mode for dessert, and wash it all down with a big glass of Kaboom!
Feast your ears on the BYU Radio family of podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts.
1 half down, 1 half to go. The second half of BYU basketball is about to begin. Alongside Mark Durant, here's the voice of the Cougars, Greg Wrubell, on the new skin, BYU Sports Network.
BYU has won 31 consecutive games when shooting 50% or better from the field. If the Cougs can duplicate their first half shooting, a real good chance of making it 32 consecutive wins. BYU shot 53.1% from the field in half number 1 on 2-point field goal tries. BYU was 12 for 16, 75% inside the 3-point line.
That's with 2. Rob Wright misses right at the rim, so that's pretty good. I mean, offensively, it's kind of been a second-half team this year, right, Greg? But 45 points against Wisconsin, that's pretty impressive in the first half.
As Jason mentioned at halftime, BYU women's soccer in the round of 32 coming up in 2 hours from now at Stanford against UCLA. Good luck to head coach Jennifer Rockwood, her staff, and the players as they take on the Bruins. Look to sweep the Bruins this year. BYU beat UCLA earlier this year 1-0 in Provo. A win today will put BYU into the Sweet 16 for the 10th time in Jen Rockwood's decorated career in her 31st season as the only soccer coach BYU's ever had. So good luck to the BYU Cougars against UCLA at 5 o'clock Mountain Time in the NCAA Women's Soccer Tournament round of 32. Well, speaking of round of 32, that's when BYU and Wisconsin basketball last met. It was March of this year. BYU won that one in a thriller, 91-89, and here we are in the rematch at Delta Center. BYU here in the second half, going left to right as we see it and you hear it, and Keba Keita is blocked beneath the hoop on the first possession for BYU. Wisconsin going right to left. Wisconsin in forecourt. BYU's lead is 12, 45-33. Game-high lead's been 16. Got a good look for Keba down low, but he did not finish at the rim. Blackwell will drive the end line. Sees a double from Baker on the base. A drift pass in the right corner. Open 3 for Rhodey is good, and it's a 9-point game.
That's a good find in the corner there. Open 3. And Keba did get in a good spot, but got to clear some space before going up against those 7-footers.
BYU 5 threes, Wisconsin now 4. BYU with the other end.
Yeah, Rob Wright, nice drive to the hoop, little floater.
47-36, the BYU lead is 11. Austin Rapp's going to drive it and draw a foul. Keba Keita went for the strip, called for his 3rd foul of the night, or afternoon, I should say. Austin Rapp, 2 points in the first half, both coming from the free throw line. This should be out of bounds to Wisconsin.
Yeah, I mean, you can see why they called it, because Keba reached in, but he got his hand on the ball. No foul, and he'll have to sit. A lot of times referees will call the action just assuming that you hit somebody on a play like that, but it was clean.
John Blackwell, 9 points in the first half, almost halfway to his average of 19.5.
His first time in the zone tonight. 3-pointer.
Skip pass to Boyd for 3 out of the zone. No. Rebound DeBonsa, and he lost it to Austin Rapp. BYU had numbers. BYU should have been running, and Wisconsin calls a timeout. BYU just not as good as they probably should be today on the defensive glass, and that was a possession BYU had and should have been running with. And DeBonsa had it knocked out of his hands, and Wisconsin retains possession. All right, this is the bonus timeout in the second half. And it's brought to you by BYU Independent Study, because learning shouldn't have to wait. Whether you're managing school, work, family, or travel, BYU Independent Study offers flexible, accredited online high school and university courses that fit your schedule anytime, anywhere. Learn more at is.byu.edu. This is the extra timeout in the second half, and we're taking it on the new skin, BYU Sports Network.
Ever feel like the road is out to... Thankfully, Hyundai is always working to ensure it doesn't, with over 130 IIHS Top Safety Awards since 2006. IIHS Top Safety Awards include Top Safety Pick and Top Safety Pick Plus awards to Hyundai vehicles from 2006 to 2025.
All Hyundai vehicles come standard with America's best warranty. Visit your Utah Hyundai dealer, proud partner of BYU Athletics. Call 480-500-7931 for details.
Looking for the perfect place to stay while visiting Provo? We've got you covered at Hyatt Place, located in the heart of downtown Provo. At the Hyatt Place, we understand that every trip has a purpose, and every stay should be an opportunity to recharge and make the next day more successful than the one before. Just like our Cougars never settle for anything but a win, neither do we. You'll see why BYU, fans, and preferred partners stay with us year after year. Hyatt Place Provo, where guests like you are our top priority. Proud sponsor of BYU Athletics. Go Cougs!
You are listening to BYU Basketball on BYU Radio.
Hi, I'm Sam Payne, host of The Appleseed, where great stories can bring us together. And this week, on an hour of storytelling from BYU Radio, you'll hear an episode of the Constant Wonder Kids podcast called The Secret Sounds of Elephants and Volcanoes. That and stories from Antonio Rocha and Debs Newbold. You won't want to miss a single word. Join us right here. Google The Appleseed podcast or download the BYU Radio app.
Let's get you back to the Utah Ice Center's courtside seats and rejoin the voice of the Cougars, Greg Wrubell.
Cougar basketball brought to you by Bam Bam's Barbecue, perfectly smoking each cut of meat just for you. Come on in and enjoy Central Texas barbecue right there in Provo. Bam Bam's Barbecue, authentic to the bone. Wisconsin grabbed a loose ball knocked away from A.J. DiBonsa, called a timeout as Winter was on the floor, or Rapp was on the floor, and we're coming out of that timeout. Wisconsin with an extended possession, chance to cut into an 11-point BYU lead. 47-36. Winter left wing Blackwell, angle left Boyd. Nick Boyd, 4 points, 1 rebound, no assists for the point guard. Andrew Rohde, the Virginia transfer, into a top of the key three, and he airballs that. So no harm done to the lost possession a moment ago. It'll be BYU basketball with an 18-24 game clock. Hadim Boop is in for Kebakeda. So it's Rob Wright with A.J. DiBonsa, Richie Saunders, Dawson Baker, and Hadim Boop. Dawson will drive, draw some contact, float it, and score it. Nice hit by Dawson Baker from 8 feet down the paint.
Dawson doing just what he needs to do, being an offensive threat, putting pressure on the D, getting points from that fifth spot on the starting five.
AJ's got his third foul. He body checked Rohde on the baseline drive. Another Cougar in foul trouble. 18:05 to go, and less than 2 minutes into the second half, DiBonsa's already got his third. Caba's got his third. Nate Austin, BYU ops director, making sure Kevin Young knows that was number 3 on AJ. Blackwell got free for a stick right beneath the bucket, but he misses it, and A.J. DiBonsa on the rebound. Cross-court left side, Rob Wright. Trailer, Dawson Baker. Dawson drive, no look to A.J. 3-point land right. A.J. with the shove away. That'll be an offensive foul. That's 4 on... Or is that... It is 4 on A.J. That's too obvious, Mark.
Yeah, he extended the arm. This is a very interesting development here.
Yeah, now the Cougs have a 13-point lead to protect with A.J. DiBonsa on the bench. And just that movement, when you're playing with 3 fouls, you almost can't even risk the movement. And he did not get the benefit of the call. It's an offensive foul, and now Wisconsin with the ball on a turnover and a chance to make it a 10-point lead with a 3. Pick and roll low, drive dunk Winter. It's 11. 10 points for Winter. 49-38. DiBonsa, how long will he stay on the bench? 4 fouls, and the fouls for BYU, crucial fouls coming early in the second half. Dawson Baker, that's a big make for Dawson Baker. Shot maker, a three-pointer, left corner. BYU back up 14, 52-38. Boyd out of control, driving, scooping, score. Nick Boyd with 6, and now we're back and forth. 52-40, BYU lead 12. Diomande has not hit a three-pointer this season. 0 for 2 today from deep. On the wing left side to Ritchie, straight away Baker. Dawson Baker with now 11. 3 Cougs in double figures. DeBonsa 12, Saunders, Baker 11 apiece. 11-second shot clock. 16:45 game clock. Rob Wright the third on the wing left, and he has it knocked away, taken away. Wisconsin on the steal. Rob with 3 turnovers in this game. Dawson Baker then goes for the steal and fouls Nick Boyd on his drive. And BYU leaking a little bit of oil here, leading by 12 still, but DeBonsa on the bench. The fouls are just racking up. That's 4 fouls for BYU to 0 for Wisconsin. So 14, or is it 13 of the last 14 fouls have gone against BYU?
Right.
Isn't that remarkable? 13 of 14. Rapp missing a three-pointer. Diomande on the rebound. Outlet Baker. Wisconsin now 4 for 19 from 3, and this is a good three-point shooting team. Not today, thankfully for BYU. Rob Wright the third, top of the key, NBA 3. Nope, that's heavy. Slap out to Rob. Rob will drive it. Hand off to Hadim Boop, and he dunks it. Off the assist from Rob Wright the third. BYU by 14, 54-40.
Credit Diomande on that offensive rebound to tip it, create another opportunity.
Nick Boyd heating up, leans back with the left hand. What a tough shot off the window. I'd say you give 10 guys that shot, maybe 2 make it, and Nick Boyd's one of them. Diomande for 3. Is it his first of the year? Nope, another miss. Rebound Dawson Baker, though, hit in the face. Boyd clipped him up top, and they may want to take a look at this. That'll be 3 on Nick Boyd. 54-42, timeout on the floor. 15:42 to play. BYU by a dozen. Cougs hanging on against the Badgers on the new skin, BYU Sports Network.
Attention BYU students, parents, and faculty. Did you know Quick Quack Car Wash is a proud sponsor of your BYU Cougars? That's right. When we're not keeping cars clean, we're painting our faces and rooting for the Cougs, just like you. Our wash packages will get you soap, shine, protected, and ready for game day. Plus, our in-wash light show, seasonal scented washes, and projector experience will keep you feeling great after a big win all week long. Stop in today to get the best clean your car can be with Quick Quack Car Wash, the official wash of BYU Athletics.
You need another bathroom. You want a back patio retreat. We have a plan. If you're looking to start a home improvement project, a discounted home equity line of credit from Zions Bank is an easy, affordable way to turn your home's equity into opportunity. Stop by your local branch to get started or visit zionsbank.com/HELOC to learn more. Loan subject to credit approval. Terms and conditions apply. See banker for details. A division of Zions Bank Corporation, N.A., member FDIC, equal housing lender. NMLS number 467014.
Meet Marcus Smith, host of Constant Wonder.
I've given a lot of thought over my time behind a microphone with guests, and I've thought about the centrality of the ethical gesture of hospitality, where it's not just going after right perspectives, who's going to win the argument. It has to do with never pulling apart the good from the true from the beautiful in the old Platonic sense, and hospitality is part of the good.
Listen to The Good on Constant Wonder, wherever you get your podcasts.
The Cougars play in the Big 12 on the new skin, BYU Sports Network.
BYU basketball brought to you by Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A is a proud sponsor of BYU Athletics. The Chick-fil-A foul shot has become a fan favorite. Cheer for chicken. Go Cougars! The Cougars of BYU with a 12-point lead over Wisconsin. The Cougars had a 12-point lead at halftime, so 4 minutes and 18 seconds into the second half, and we keep that same 12-point margin. BYU led 45-33 at the break, and both teams have scored 9 points here in the second half. But the storyline right now involves A.J. DeBonsa. 12 points, 6 rebounds, but 4 fouls. Picked up 2 of them in the first couple minutes of the second half.
It turns out Kip Kissinger is the only guy that can stop A.J. DeBonsa right now. He's put him on the bench, and the last foul was certainly on A.J., but late in that first half, they called a ridiculous foul underneath on A.J., and that's going to keep you. So it'll be interesting. If BYU can keep this kind of double-digit lead you'll keep him on the bench, but if it starts getting dicey, what does Kevin Young do?
BYU in forecourt. 15:40 to play here at Delta Center in downtown Salt Lake City. Dawson Baker drives and kicks. Diomande passes out of it to Richie Saunders on the right wing. Now left wing to Rob. Rob will head fake it, drive it, pull up and shoot it. Side of the backboard and off the rim, no. Ball on the floor. Did Hadeen grab it? He did, and then lost it, and now it's a scrum of players. And it'll be an alternate possession arrow situation favoring Wisconsin. It'll be Badger ball. 15:22 to play. And the Cougar lead stays 12 at 54-42.
Well, they had Boop and Diomande for a couple lobs there. They seem hesitant to throw it to them. Obviously, Kaba, you just throw it up there, but I think you're going to have to take a chance there. The defense is not focusing on them.
Diomande's taken 3 threes today. He's now 0 for 7 on the year from deep. Richie Saunders tracks Blackwell down the right sideline. Winter will make it to the rim. Hand off beneath the basket to Janicki, who scores his first 2 of the game. 10-point game, 54-44, 15 even to play. Wisconsin is now outscoring BYU after halftime. Rob Wright III, top of the key. Left wing Richie, pull, fire, and short on another NBA distance 3. Rebound to Nolan Winter. 2 lines on the floor, college line, NBA line. BYU favoring the NBA line and missing a lot of threes badly from the deeper line. A turnover by Wisconsin. BYU the other way. Traylor Saunders, high to Baker. Dawson, little crossover, lost the dribble, got it back, and finds Rob Wright III on the right wing. Rob, 7 points on 3 of 7 shooting. Right top side. Getting free is Boop. Boop is blocked on his dunk attempt. No foul. And here come the Badgers the other way. Can make it a single-digit game for 3, and there it is. It's a 7-point game. Nick Janicki for 3. Wisconsin makes it a 7-point game. BYU led by 16 here in the first half, and it's slipping away after halftime. 54-47. The Cougar lead down to 7. BYU came back from down 20 against UConn. They've lost more than half of a 16-point lead here against Wisconsin. You could see it coming. Rob Wright III up top. Right wing Diomande. Drive hard right to the rim, and his shot is planted between the rim and the backboard, but a foul was called. And Diomande will shoot 2 free throws, but the BYU leads down to 7. This is the closest Wisconsin's been in a long, long time. Keda's going to check back in. Tyler Maruss will check in. AJ DeBonsa is going to stay on the bench, and AJ's 4th foul might end up being the story of this game.
Well, they do seem a little bit lost of what they want to do offensively as Dominique does hit the first free throw. But again, those last 2 shots, Dominique had a wide open lane to the basket, and Boop, he should have dunked that. He maybe got hit a little bit, but you just go and dunk that even with the contact. And so there's opportunities. BYU just needs to take advantage.
Second for Dominique. The France native goes 2 for 2 on the trip. 9-point lead, 56-47. Wisconsin's taken 3 points off a 12-point halftime deficit. Diomande hounding Boyd in the front court and fouls him.
Well, listen, he's pushing off Dominique as well. Dominique's getting after it, and he'll probably get the whistle most of the time there, but Boyd is pushing off with the right arm.
5 fouls against BYU. Nothing is tracking well for BYU here in the second half. The shooting under 50%, the foul total elevating. Carrington with a wild turnaround miss beneath the bucket, base right. BYU with 3-on-2, transition triple Maruss, and that's no good. Rebound Wisconsin, 56-47. BYU lead 9, 13:36 to play, but it's a whole new ball game, anyone's game here in Salt Lake City. Janicki into the paint, drops it off on a pocket pass for Winter, right to the front of the rim, missed it, but he got his follow. Another offensive rebound, more second chance points for Nolan Winter. And now it's a 7-point game again, 56-49. Wisconsin shooting 54% after halftime, and BYU 36%. That's why this lead is slowly slipping away on the Cougars. Tyler Maruss, top of the key. To Richie off the curl. Saunders gets a shield by Keda. Richie Saunders reverse lay-in, no. Keba offensive rebound, stick back, no. He's blocked, but he's fouled. He'll get 2 at the free throw line, but Keba missed 2 at the free throw line in the first half. After opening the season 4 for 4, went 0 for 2 in the first half, and he doesn't look quite right right now. He's got his hands on his knees. He's bent over at the waist, and he's not feeling great. He got ready to play. He got cleared to go today, but I don't think Keba's looked right. at any point today.
No, you're absolutely right. He took a long time there, bent over, just trying to gather himself. Those concussions, even if you're clear, it just doesn't feel right for a long time. But that free throw goes, big free throw from Kaba. BYU fans, dinner after the game at JCW's includes something for everybody, from burgers to wings, shakes to salads. JCW's, quality and a lot of it in Lehigh, American Fork, Provo, South Jordan, and Harriman. So Kaba makes the free throw to make it an 8-point lead, 57-49. But this is going to be a back-and-forth affair the rest of the way, you get the sense. Cougs just lost control after leading by 16 in the first half. Wisconsin substitutes 4, so almost a new 5 on the floor for them as Kaba gets both of them. Impressive.
2 for 2 after going 0 for 2 in the first half. BYU by 9. Can they get that lead back up at the double digits? They may need some cushion down the stretch. They needed it last year against Wisconsin in the NCAA tournament. A steal as Cada and Mowers combined to yank it away from Andrew Rohde. So for Wisconsin, turnover number 7 on the day. Rob Wright III to the right corner to Mowers. Back to Rob. Rob trying to wipe away Rohde and then runs into a hit in the alley by Will Garlock. Garlock will be called for the non-shooting foul. It'll be BYU out of bounds. The foul situation now 5 for BYU to 4 for Wisconsin here in the second half. So we may see a lot of free throws the way the fouls are pacing. And Wisconsin is shooting 84% on the year coming into the day and led the nation last year from the free throw line. Dominique Diomande, the trigger to the right of the BYU bucket, playing with Cada, Saunders, Wright, and Mowers. AJ on the bench with 4 fouls. He's been sitting for a while. Off the curl, Richie Saunders, three-point range right. Starts down the baseline. Leans in from the right block and reverses with a layup on the other side of the rim. 60-49. BYU by 11. Richie Saunders leading BYU with 13.
Beautiful. Good patience there to find an opening.
Blackwell's going to cuff it. Fade away from 8 feet. Bank and miss. Tip Cada and collected off a bounce. Well done. Outlet to Rob Wright. Cross-court Richie in the corner. Diomande driving for the dunk. He's hit on his way to the hoop. That was ambitious. He'll go to the free throw line for 2 as he cocked it back with the right hand. Took a hit in midair. Dominique was feeling it on that baseline drive. Timeout on the floor. 12 even to play. So, BYU, which led by a 12 at halftime, has seen only 1 point now go off their halftime lead. 60-49. Cougs lead by 11. BYU trying to hang on here in downtown Salt Lake City on the new skin, BYU Sports Network.
What if your brand could huddle with 65,000 fans at LaVell Edwards Stadium or make a buzzer-beating impression in the Marriott Center? When you become a corporate sponsor of BYU Athletics, you're not just advertising, you're aligning with excellence, loyalty, and a fan base that bleeds blue and rallies behind our partners. Whether it's game day signage, digital reach, or unforgettable promotions, BYU puts your business in the starting lineup. Email sponsorship@byu.edu. Put your brand in the game and experience the power of partnership with BYU Athletics.
Grab your kids and a bag of popcorn and come see the greatest show on the road at Doug Smith Kia in Linden. The Kia Carnival and the Kia Carnival Hybrid, a 3-row, 7-passenger minivan built to comfortably fit your 3-ring family. And with an optional 8th seat and fuel economy of 33 miles per gallon, no one in the pickup line will be mistaking you for your mother. So come see our amazing offers for the funnest family car on wheels at Doug Smith Kia in Linden. No one knows Kia like Doug.
You are listening to BYU Basketball on BYU Radio.
Jerem Jordan and Spencer Linton here on the latest BYU Sports Nation. We preview number 11 BYU football's matchup with Cincinnati. What's on the line for the Cougars, and where does BYU hold the biggest advantage over the Bearcats?
On the next episode, ESPN's Trevor Maddich joins us to recap what happened in Cincinnati for BYU football and what needs to happen for the Cougars to get to Arlington.
Listen on demand, Google BYU Sports Nation podcast, or tune in live at noon Eastern for BYUSN. Always here on BYU Radio.
You're listening to BYU Basketball on the new skin, BYU Sports Network. Here's Jason Shepard with a scoreboard update.
Well, not quite a scoreboard update, but just a reminder, BYU women's soccer in the tournament taking on UCLA tonight. Winner moves on to the Sweet 16. That game will be played in Palo Alto, 5 p.m. Mountain Time. You can check it out on ESPN+. Let's get you back over to the voice of the Cougars, Greg Wrubell.
Thank you, Jason. We've got 12 minutes exactly remaining here at Delta Center. BYU 60 and Wisconsin 49. Wisconsin had a lead of 2 at 4-2. BYU's large lead came at 16 at 34-18. The halftime cushion had BYU up a dozen. BYU after the half is shooting 39%. Wisconsin shooting 50%. Dominique Diomande is at the free throw line and makes his third free throw in 3 attempts today.
Yeah, these are important points, these free throws, and Diomande and Gabe are 5 for 5 in this half. The only free throws from BYU.
Dominique, 11 points in 24 minutes played, coming
Beautiful.
in 2 today. Makes 2 of 2 and has 6 points on the day. So for Dominique, that's just shy of his season high, and BYU career high 9 points. He's got 6 in the Cougar lead. 13 now, 62-49. So the Cougs have actually added to their halftime cushion by 1 point. And they've done so with A.J. DiBonsa sitting on the bench with 4 fouls.
Yeah, it's been 5 or 6 minutes without him, and they haven't lost a point.
Winter hands off to Blackwell. Blackwell's going to run into Queta. Winter's going to pop for 3 and miss that triple. Rebound to Rob Wright the third. Wisconsin now 5 for 22 from deep. You'll take that from a good 3-point shooting team.
Come on.
Rob splits the double. In the corner, Richie Saunders off the assist from Rob Wright the third. And that feels like an All-Pro Capital money moment of the game as Boyd is fouled the other way. BYU by 16 now, 65-49. Significant because it ties the Cougars' game-high lead of the day. The money moment of the game. Rob Wright the third slicing through 2 defenders, finding Richie Saunders in the corner for a big 3. It's brought to you by All-Pro Capital. Put your money to work with smart real estate investments. Visit allprocapital.com for more information. Visit All-Pro Capital, creating wealth by putting our investors first. Boyd for 2 free throws, and he misses the first.
Well, how about Rob Wright? I mean, that crossover is just magic. He splits the defenders, like you said, and then that creates a lot of pressure on the defense, leaving Richie wide open, and he needed a wide open 3 to get that confidence, and he knocks it down, as does Boyd for the second free throw.
So 1 for 2 on the trip, 9 points on the day. It's a 15-point BYU lead, 65-50. Rob Wright, 7 points, 6 rebounds, 8 assists for the Cougar point guard. Rob pounds it to the right elbow. On the wing right side to Baker. Baker will dribble handoff to Richie Saunders, right side, 11:05 to play. BYU's up 15. Rob down to a 7-second shot clock. Right at the free throw line, one-hand whip left side to Baker. Baker then fouled out on the perimeter by Andrew Rohde. That'll be 3 on Rohde, and it'll be a new possession for BYU, new clock in the forecourt.
I was getting late, so under 5. And
yeah, you'll take that. Yep. That adds 17 seconds to your clock. Nursing a 15-point lead, 65-50, 11 even to go. And you're watching the clock, and you're watching A.J. DiBonsa. When does he get back off the bench? You know, Kevin Young's going to ride this thing as long as he can, and so far so good for BYU playing without their All-American superstar with foul trouble. Rob Wright the third. Gets a high screen from Hadim, who goes low as Rob goes low and misses the lay-in. Hadim booped the offensive rebound, and then a tie-up as he and Rohde go to the floor, and now there's a scramble, and you just want to avoid any altercation here as a pair of number 7s tumble to the hardwood. The foul should go again, or rather the possession arrow should go to BYU as Hadim gets up and exhorts the crowd, and they respond in turn. This should be BYU possession with 10:48 to play. About the only thing Rob Wright hasn't done at a really high level is finish at the rim. I think he's got 3 missed layups tonight, but he gets anywhere he wants to go and is doing everything you'd want from your point guard. Rob Wright's been exceptional tonight. Meantime, it is a new BYU possession, but only a 7-second shot clock. 10:48 on the second half game clock. The Cougs up 15. They've never led by 17. They have a chance to do so on this possession. Rob Wright III is the trigger man. He lobs into Hadim, back to Rob. Down to 6 and 5. Rob Wright III, 3-point range right side. Behind the back, 15-footer, front rims it. Slap out from Baker to Richie Saunders. Rebound on the offensive end for BYU. Dawson will drive from the perimeter, cuff it, pass out of it to Tyler Moroz, open 3. Oh, he missed it. Offensive rebound, Hadim, and he lost it. Would have made BYU up 18 on the Moroz look, and it was wide open left side. Boyd driving lane uncontested, essentially, and he's got 11. And wow, it could have been 18. Now it's 13.
Yeah, you just have to hit that shot. So much work went in that possession. It's over a minute of a possession, and you get a beautiful looking shot. Just couldn't hit it.
Place would have exploded if Mowers connects. No, and now it's a 13-point game. Richie Saunders, three-point land left. He gets to the rim, and he missed the layup with the right hand, but he's fouled. He'll get free throws out of it.
Both teams will be in the bonus. For me, I'll be 2 free throws, obviously, but both teams will be in the bonus.
Now, this won't count as a missed layup because he was fouled, but BYU's 6 for 11 on layups. Mark?
Yeah, layups are harder than you think, Greg. I'm just going to say.
Well, they're harder for guys like me.
When you got 2 7-footers out there for Wisconsin, it's not
so
always straightforward.
Cut him a little bit of slack on that number. Okay, done. Richie Saunders makes the free throw. BYU by 14, 66-52. BYU basketball brought to you by Siegfried & Jensen. Siegfried & Jensen, helping Utah families for over 30 years. Learn more at siegfriedandjensen.com.
Richie just does nice things for you, doesn't he? And he missed that free throw, but he's got 17 in this one.
BYU by 14. Just not quite able yet to put a hammer down on a very good Wisconsin team. Boyd misses a 3, rebounded by Boop.
It's fortunate because there was a miscommunication defensively.
Rob Wright III from the left side. The lob low to Hadim. Touch pass to Mowers. Another open 3. This one goes for Tyler Mowers. He knocks it down from the right side. And it's BYU by 17 for the first time today. 69-52. Tyler Mowers knocks down the triple. And for Tyler, that's 2 threes today after making his first 3 as a Cougar, I believe, in the UConn game in Boston last Saturday. Foul on BYU on the front end.
Yeah, he's zoning in a little bit. Dawson gets a foul there, and he kind of got his knee hit. He's hobbled a little bit.
And
it just looked awkward.
That's 4 on Baker. Dawson Baker from Coto de Caza, California, part of that beautiful San Clemente, San Juan Capistrano area of the coast, and he will have a seat. So Dawson sits. So 2 Cougs with 4 fouls apiece. No Badgers with 4. So it's DeBonsa and Baker, 2 starters on the bench with 4 apiece with 9:25 to play. Boyd at the free throw line in a 17-point game and misses again.
Front end. So wow.
A front end miss for Boyd, who's only 1 for 3 at the free throw line. A lot of things are breaking BYU's way here. 9:15 to go. Rob Wright III to the perimeter right side. Now straight away to Richie, back to Rob on the right. Down to a 15-second shot. Screen set by Hadim, who rolls low. The pass goes perimeter right to Diomande. Back up top to Rob. Rob takes a bump at the elbow, gets it back into his hands, and misses at the rim. And then Kadim misses the follow put-back dunk.
That one he should have had.
And then it's the other way, Wisconsin. Transition. Carrington won't take the 3. Blackwell will take the 3 and miss the 3. And the rebound falls to Rob Wright III. No harm done on that exchange. Does go as another missed layup for BYU. As Richie Saunders will drive, get cut off on the left post low. Back out to Rob, 30 feet away on the left side. 15-second shot clock, 8:35 game clock. Open 3, Richie, pull, fire, score! Richie Saunders! Wow. It's 20 for the first time today. 72-52, Richie Saunders with a 20-point day. 8 for 14 from the field, 3 for 7 from deep. BYU's hit 9 threes on the day. It's 72-52, Richie Saunders. Big shot left corner.
Now something happened.
A Wisconsin player hit the deck. So on the three-point make, which was good, a Wisconsin player went down in the paint. They're going to look at the video and see if he got clipped, whoever it was that went down. So Wisconsin may bite into this big 20-point lead. Should this thing get flagrant, they would get free throws in possession. They're taking a look at it with 8:32 to play here at Delta Center in downtown Salt Lake City. BYU basketball brought to you by Delta Airlines. Delta Airlines, keep climbing.
Now, BYU doing better than Wisconsin at what they do really well. And Wisconsin just 5 of 24 from 3. BYU now 9 for 25. That's a good number for BYU. Good amount of attempts and 36%. And they're winning the 3-point game against a team that they don't lose a lot of 3-point competition. Wisconsin was averaging
12.3 threes per game through 4 games. They're less than half of that number right now at 5 for 24. The officials, Kip Kissinger, Brooks Wells, and DJ Karstensen, have undertaken a video review. And I think something is happening because Kip has made an announcement to the scorer. So it sounds like it's going to be a technical foul on Dominique Diomande. So just as BYU goes up 20, Wisconsin will get, I think, free throws in possession here. And I'm not exactly sure. Oh, yeah, well, it wasn't much. I mean, Boyd sells it, but Dominique shoves him in the back. And Boyd hit the deck. There was not a lot there, but it was a definite shove from Dominique Diomande. And that's just kind of an inexplicable play in a game you're just trying to pull away from Wisconsin, and now you give them a little breath of life here. It's 20, but still, you're giving them 3 points here and a chance to make it a 5-point play.
Blackwell will shoot
and make the free throw. What was Dominique thinking there after the make from Richie Saunders? No need to make contact. Free throw missed by Blackwell, so you'll take that. So John Blackwell, who was shooting 88% on the year, is only 5 for 8 today. So right now it's only a 1-point error, and it'll make it 72-53, pardon me. It's a 19-point BYU lead, but Wisconsin possession.
Just 12 of 19 from the free throw line from Wisconsin, one of the top free throw shooters in the country.
Third in the nation midweek, and again led the nation last year. Boyd stripped. Diomande coming on a 2-on-1 the other way. Rob Wright the third, transition 3, air ball.
That was way out. I don't know if that may have been a lob because that was not even close.
Rhodey to the cutter. Rapp is called for the offensive foul, knocking down Dominique Diomande.
I thought Dominique making up for it, though, Greg, with the steal and then the charge. So not a smart play from him, but then he comes in, makes 2 big defensive plays.
And he will stay in the game as Rob Wright III hits the bench. And look who checks back in. A.J. DiBonsa, after sitting for about 10 minutes. The Cougars sat when DiBonsa sat when he got his 4th foul, and BYU pushed the lead with him on the bench. That's an encouraging sign for the Cougars, no doubt. A.J. rocks the dribble out top. He's anxious to get back onto the stat sheet. Maruss for 3. Missed on the push on the left side. A volleyball rebound slapped out by Hadim to Diomande. Then Diomande loses out of bounds, but it's last touched by Rhodey, who knocked it out of Dominique's hands. That will take our timeout. The under 8-minute break with BYU leading big. 72-53. The Cougs on the verge of their first win over a ranked team this season. Number 9 leads number 23 here in downtown Salt Lake City. 72-53. Cougs over the Badgers of Wisconsin on the new skin, BYU Sports Network.
From business matters to family matters, from legal advice to litigation, Fillmore Spencer is your full-service law firm headquartered just a mile north of the Marriott Center on University Avenue, with branch offices in Salt Lake and St. George. Top-rated lawyers consistently voted Utah Valley's favorite law firm. With its broad legal expertise, Fillmore Spencer can play offense or defense and even provide a little coaching. Fillmore Spencer, solving problems and seizing opportunities for you, your family, and your business.
Every great team knows the value of the assist. At the BYU Salt Lake Center, you won't go it alone. Our professors, advisors, and small classes are here to set you up for success on your time, at your pace. Conveniently located downtown and built around your busy life, we'll help you make the shot that counts. Ready for your next assist? Visit slc.byu.edu.
BYU Continuing Education, inspiring lifelong learning.
Life is complicated. The hustle and bustle of the world we live in can be overwhelming. Here at BYU Radio, we understand and want to help you cut through the clutter and noise. Knowledge, direction, enlightenment, virtue, redemption, empathy, kindness, understanding, entertainment, positivity. Words to describe your listening experience. Download the BYU Radio app or listen wherever you get your podcasts and let the journey begin.
Let's get you back to the Utah Ice Center's courtside seats and rejoin the voice of the Cougars, Greg Wrubell.
Let's take a check of our points in the paint between BYU and Wisconsin. The Cougars lead Wisconsin 72-53. Our check of points in the paint is brought to you today and always by Jones Paint and Glass. When you hear the crash, think of Jones Paint and Glass. And Wisconsin's a team that starts 7 foot and brings, well, they start 6'10", 7 foot, and they bring 6'10", 7 foot off the bench. Wisconsin, according to Ken Pomeroy, is the 7th tallest team in college basketball. And so when you can outscore that team in the paint, kudos to you, BYU. 30-24, BYU leads in points in the paint.
Yeah, the thing about most of those big guys is they're also shooters, and so you're taking away the three and the paint from Wisconsin, and that leads to a 19-point lead here late in this. How about Diamande? Good job. Couple defensive stops. BYU chance now.
A.J. DiBonsa back in the game with 4 fouls. Richie Saunders looking for him, doesn't have him, so it's right wing to Tyler Morris. Tyler's had a good game. Maybe the most minutes Tyler's played this year for BYU, feels like. DiBonsa on a back down from the high post left side. Gets to the middle of the alley, out to Richie. Deep three. Oh, my goodness! Richie Saunders! 4-3. He's got 23, and that was way outside the NBA three-point line. BYU by 22 now, 75-53.
You didn't say enough deeps. That was deep.
Boyd, drive, hang, hit, and the foul.
Boyd, good player. He's tough, just able to draw contact there. Richie, it's been a little bit hot and cold for him from three, but when it's been hot, it's been super hot. That was a long three.
Back to AJ for a minute, Mark. He sat at the 1750 mark, and BYU led by 13 at that point. And when he came back in, the lead was larger.
Yeah, he's been 9 minutes on the bench. They're trying to get him going, but he's been more of a facilitator.
By the way, Boyd finishes the three-point play on the foul by Boop, and then A.J. draws the foul on a turnaround jumper from 8 feet. So A.J. back to the line. We haven't called A.J.'s name as a scorer in a while. We'll see if we can fix that right here. A.J. with 12 points on 3 of 6, 5 for 6 at the line. 12 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists for DiBonsa. Rob Wright, 7 points, 7 rebounds, 9 assists. We may be on the verge of the first 10-assist day for Rob as a BYU Cougar. His career high set with Baylor was 13. A.J. shoots 2 with BYU up 19. You can make it an even 20 again. 76-56. BYU's led double digits most of the way against a really good Wisconsin team.
Yeah, this is a great performance all around. Defense, offense, good energy throughout. Getting a lot of performances from guys as the second free throw is good. I really like how Boop and Diamande and Morris have come in and played well.
So 6:55 to play.
Boop is a cheerleader. He's gotten this crowd going a couple times.
Hadim has a seat. He'll be checked out by Mihailo Boskovic. So Mihai getting his first minutes of the day. Three-pointer missed by Austin Rapp on the left side, but soaring in for the rebound is Rhodey, who misses the stick back, and then an offensive foul over the back on Nolan Winter. So BYU basketball after all of that, as Brooks Wells makes the call against Nolan Winter. Winter has now his 4th foul. BYU basketball. Well, the hay not yet in the barn, but the tractor's backing in right now. It's 6:45 to go, and the Cougs lead it by 21, 77-56.
This has just been really impressive. Mihailo will have a one-on-one here, as he was the recipient of that push in the back.
Actually, I think it's going to be 2 shots.
Right.
Yeah,
There's been a lot of fouls.
Both teams in the double shot bonus now, so 2. Good for Mihailo, gets on the board. So every player but Xavier Staten has now scored for BYU that's gotten in the game today.
Yeah, and this will be 20 bench points if he gets this. That's a pretty good number. BYU's been really relying on those top 3 getting the bulk of the points, but 20 to 30 points from the bench would be great.
Second free throw heavy, lead stage 22, but that's the game high lead for BYU, 78-56. Wisconsin running out of time. Blackwell drives high off the window, no, and Dominique Diamande then stripped by Blackwell, who lays it up and in. Dominique got his pocket picked, and Blackwell scores at the end of it anyway. So 12 for Blackwell, down to 20. 78-58. BYU's turned it over 9 times. Wisconsin also 9 times. Oh, Richie with a 3 while being hit at the top of the key. And Saunders' big day continues. 26, 5 threes, and that was a 3 with some contact. And the Cougs go up 81-58, 23-point lead for the first time today. The foul on Boyd, that's his 4th. Richie's making it from everywhere and with everything.
And that was a high degree of difficulty. Doesn't make the free throw, oddly enough, but high degree of difficulty on the 3, and he gets fouled.
81-58, Blackwell all the way. Fouled by Diamande at the rim, and that will be 2 free throws as he missed the lay-in, but Dominique caught him on the way up. Dominique Diamande has been all over the place today. 6 points, 5 rebounds, 3 fouls, and you can throw a steal in for good measure.
Well, I just love the energy he and Boot bring. They're really aggressive defensively. Even if they don't get the rebound, as another free throw's missed from Blackwell, if they don't get the rebound, they're tipping it. They're keeping it active, letting other guys get the rebound. I've really been impressed with both Diamande and Boop this afternoon, I should say. Seems like it's like 9 or 10.
Second for Blackwell, and 0 for 2 from Blackwell. He's missed 3 in a row, and he is 5 for 10 at the free throw line, and that's an 88% free throw guy going 5 for 10. All the numbers that you normally expect from Wisconsin, a lot have gone the other way, and BYU will be happy with that, and they've caused a lot of that. Tyler Maruss in the paint, bounces to beat Mihailo Boskovic, mid-alley left, jump hook is short, but he's fouled on it, and he'll get 2 more free throws. BYU basketball is brought to you by Sierra West Jewelers, the largest dealer in Utah with the lowest prices. 3 stores located across from the malls in Orem, Sandy, and Murray. Sierra West Jewelers, we price match. There's no matching BYU's score for the Badgers, 81-58. The Cougs lead by 23. And 2 more for Mihailo Boskovic. That'll be a foul on Jack Janicki. They have called him Nick in error earlier. Apologies to the Janicki crew. Jack Janicki off the bench with 5 points today. Rhodey will check out for Braden Carrington. Now there is a Nick for the Badgers. It's Nick Boyd, the point guard. I'm almost certain I transposed the names when they were on the floor together. Meantime, Mihailo Boskovic makes 2 free throws, and the Cougs lead by 25, Mark, at 83-58.
I can't imagine how many names you got in your head after all these years with football and basketball. There's a lot going on in that big cranium of yours.
Blackwell on the right wing, dribbles it off his foot into backcourt. Was it touched? It will be a backcourt violation. So, 5:36 to play in BYU basketball on turnover number 10 for Wisconsin. Yep, as soon as this game ends, we'll do a quick little recap, you and I, and then I'm going to be off to the airport to fly to Cincinnati. Jason Shepard will take it the rest of the way on postgame with Mark. Speaking of the Cincinnati flight, on that flight will be Mitchell Juergens, who's also at the game here this afternoon, doing what I'm doing, catching a little basketball on the way to the airport. All right, Cougar basketball. Rob Wright III back in, 5:30 to go. BYU's up 25.
You may need Kissinger to swallow his whistle a little bit here so you can make your
I know,
flight.
We're getting a little close. Closer than I would like at this point. DiBonsa jumps into the paint, scoops it up with the left hand, takes a hit on his way up. He'll get 2 more free throws as he draws another foul. And if this game goes a whole lot longer, I may not even do the post-game recap. I may let Jason do that with you as well.
Jason is standing by, whatever you need to do.
Delta's not holding the flight for the BYU radio guy. I know that. All right, DiBonsa with 2 more free throws. 83-58, the Cougars lead. Yeah, a lot of fouls, slowish game. AJ makes, and so for DiBonsa, what's that, 15?
Yeah, he's got 15 in this one, most of it from the free throw line. He's been a little hit and miss from the free throw line, but he's been hit today. 9
for 10. 9 for 10 for A.J. DiBonsa, shooting 65% on the stripe coming in, and he goes 9 for 10 today. So that's 85-58. And you know what? Greg Gard's going to be emptying his bench here, I think, much earlier than he thought, or we thought, midway through this game, or even early into the second half. 5 minutes even to go. 85-58, BYU by 27. Step back 3, Boyd, front rim. A slap out by Ritchie, but collected by Janicki. Left wing Carrington. Back to Janicki straight away. Jack Janicki. Sankles wrapped to now Boyd on the 3-point line right side. A bobble by Bieljauskas. Gets it to Carrington, who's fouled by... offensive foul on Bieljauskas, setting a moving screen. So turnover in BYU basketball. 4:45 to play here in downtown Salt Lake City. It is BYU by 27, 85-58. The Cougar lineup is Wright with Maruss, Saunders, DiBonsa, and Boskovic.
Yeah, this is a really impressive win. Statement win for BYU.
AJ from the left elbow on the dribble, backing down on Jack Janicki. Turns on him, draws a foul on him, and misses the jumper, and AJ he knows how to draw fouls. This will be free throws 11 and 12 tonight for AJ today. 85-58, BYU by 27, and AJ going to the line for more. I thought Kevin Young said a really interesting thing in our pregame conversation. You said, great showing from BYU. It's the bounce back of the UConn game, but that was like 6 days ago. Kevin said in the NBA, we would have played 4 games already, but our guys had to sit on the UConn game for 6 days, and this is their first action since, and you come off it against a really good Wisconsin team. To play the way BYU did, off the disappointment that came with encouragement in Boston, no doubt, but to play the way they did today says a lot about this team and their potential for the year, certainly. 86-58, 87-58, another free throw good. It's a 29-point BYU lead.
Yeah, just like that. AJ with 18 in this game. You only played about half the game.
Blackwell misses right at the front of the rim, and no call. Greg Gard was arguing for it, didn't get it. And so with 4:15 to go, BYU with a chance to make it a 30-plus point lead on this possession.
How many times in history has BYU beaten a ranked team this badly?
Boskovic on a long pass from Dibansa out front. Mihailo back out to AJ, top of the key. AJ gets right to the rim, up and no. Tip by Mihai, no. And the rebound saved in by the Badgers, who then turn it over on the outlet. So we'll take a timeout. 3:54 to play, our final timeout of the day. BYU by 29, 87-58. Cougar basketball next on the new skin, BYU Sports Network.
Rise and shout day in and day out with an official BYU card exclusively at Mountain America Credit Union. Get it as debit or credit and in 2 designs. Enjoy more rewards and lower rates. Show that you are loyal, strong, and true. Get the BYU card made for you only at Mountain America. Apply online at macu.com/GoCougs. Insured by NCAA. Membership required based on eligibility. Loans on approved credit.
Finally, a flight that's actually nice. Book Breeze Airways for nonstop service from Provo to San Bernardino. Breeze makes travel easy with nonstop flights to desirable destinations and flexible, friendly change policies. Relax on board with high-speed Wi-Fi, delicious snacks, and a premium first-class seat in Breeze Ascent. Plan your trip today at flybreeze.com. Breeze Airways. Seriously nice. In partnership with San Bernardino International Airport.
You are listening to BYU Basketball on BYU Radio.
Hi, it's Elaine Bradley. I hope you'll join me each week for Grace Notes on BYU Radio. I talk with singers, songwriters, and musicians about the source of their inspiration. You'll hear from talented artists who represent a wide variety of religious backgrounds, and they all perform from the heart.
Join Elaine Bradley Sunday for Grace Notes with special guest Matt Sully and Rhett Walker. For more information about Grace Notes, go to the BYU Radio app.
Let's get you back to the Utah Ice Center's courtside seats and rejoin the voice of the Cougars, Greg Wrubell.
With BYU cruising to victory over Wisconsin, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the new skin, BYU Sports Network.
This is BYU Radio on KBYU FM HD2 Provo. You are listening to BYU Basketball on BYU Radio.
BYU Basketball brought to you by Jones Paint and Glass with locations in St. George, Cedar City, Vernal, Roosevelt, American Port, Provo, and now a new location in Payson. Well, this isn't TD Garden from Boston last weekend, which was filled to the brim and an incredible atmosphere for you and Jason, but not a bad showing for a Friday 2 p.m. matinee between BYU and Wisconsin here today in downtown Salt Lake City. There was good buzz in the building during the break there.
Yeah, really good, and I think they'll figure out, going forward with this to get more people in here, hopefully, because this is a lot of fun to see these types of teams and play in this building.
All right, BYU basketball as we come back in. The Cougs with a 7-second shot clock and a 3:40 game clock leading Wisconsin by 87-58. A.J. Dibansa into the alley, missed the jumper from 10 feet, and Wisconsin on the rebound stays 29 points, the BYU leading margin. Nolan Winter to Jack Janicki, stripe extended left side. High. Garlock. The handoff, Boyd. Nick Boyd, 14 for a guy averaging 20 today. Janicki contested 3 in and out. The tip, no. Foul on BYU. Nolan Winter drew the foul. A lot of fouls in this game. 48 fouls and counting so far. 48 feels like a lot. 87-58, BYU by 29. 3:11 on the clock. So Wisconsin, which was 4-0 for a second straight season and fourth time in Greg Gard's 10 seasons, will not go to 5-0. Both teams will be 4-1 after today. And BYU gets a ranked win coming off a tight loss to number 3 UConn. Free throw good by Nolan Winter. Winter's got 13.
BYU does win the rebounding battle, at least to this point, as the second free throw is good by 4. And it seems like Wisconsin's got a lot of offensive rebounds, but BYU's right there with them at 11.
3:07 to go. 87-60. BYU lead down to 27. It's never been larger than 29. Mihailo for 3. No. And then over the back is Alexei Kostic. And Kostic will send Wisconsin to the free throw line for 2 more. And that's foul number 49 on the day. We've had nearly 50 fouls today. 2 free throws coming up for the Badgers.
Yeah, Mihailo just can't find the range this year. Hasn't hit a 3 all year. And it's a pretty good look. It's been all AJ the last couple minutes, but he kicked it out to an open Mihailo and just couldn't hit it.
Saunders 26, AJ 18. Free throw good by John Blackwell. And Blackwell, a great free throw shooter, was only 5 for 10 before that make. He's now 6 of 11. 13 points on the day for John Blackwell. He was part of the John duo, Blackwell and Tanjay, for Wisconsin last year. They were amazing all year, and especially against BYU in the tournament. So Blackwell hits another one. He's got 14. BYU now leads by 25. 4 straight points for Wisconsin. BYU's gone 0 for 4 from the floor since going up 29.
I still get shivers whenever I hear Tanjay's name. Here's Kostic. Banks it in, of course.
For BYU's 12th three-pointer of the day, Alexei Kostic makes it 90-62. BYU by 28. Boyd right down the middle of the lane, pops from 12 feet and knocks it down. 14 for Boyd. Make it 16, pardon me. 90-64. The Cougar lead is 26. BYU is going to win a 39th consecutive game when scoring 90 or more.
They should score 90 or more then. That seems like a good,
just go do that,
game
right?
Plan.
2:05 to go.
Yeah, the second halves have been really good. They're usually around 50. They're 45 right now.
Kostic again for 3. Again for 3.
More conventional this time.
And it's BYU by 29, tying the game-high lead in the right corner. Alexei Kostic from Staten, Austria. And that shot wasn't quite that deep, but it was in the right corner. Up and in for Alexei Kostic. BYU by 29, 93-64 is our new score. Fade away from Boyd. Off the rim a couple of times. Kostic has the rebound. We've got 90 seconds to play. The Cougs running away from Wisconsin.
I felt good about this game. Couldn't have imagined it would go this way, though. Wisconsin, solid program. They've had great success so far this year, and now an official timeout.
As Boyd took a knock in the knee, BYU's going to go to 25 or 26-4 all time, I believe, in Delta Center games. Double check that number for you.
Boyd with a nice game. He'll probably be done with 16 points. Getting some cheers as some of BYU's guys come out. Richie was terrific.
Jared McGregor in. I want to change that number. 25-5 is now the new number for BYU in Delta Center games. A ranked win for head coach Kevin Young as well today. He's now 6-6 against ranked teams and 6-3 in his last 9 against ranked teams. All right, we got 1:10 to go. 93-64. Will BYU push this thing to a 30-plus point lead? Step back 3, Rob Wright. Yep, the answer is yes. Another 3. That's 13 to only 5 for Wisconsin. BYU by 32, 96-64. Here on the home floor of the Utah Jazz. Good luck to the Jazz shooting this well tonight. Rhodey inside the three-point line. High he goes to Garlock. And on the wing right side, Carrington. He'll launch from deep and knock it down.
He hit 2 in the first half and then has not taken a shot.
Makes a 3 to make it 11. Lead back to 29. 96-67. BYU in no hurry. It's a 20-second shot clock and a 30-second game clock. BYU's going to win this one big. The only question now is the final score. AJ on the slow bounce on the right side of the floor. Kostic for 3. Front rims this one, offensive rebound, Jared McGregor. BYU doesn't need to shoot again. They can bounce this out. The shot clock is off. McGregor is going to drive, hands off to Xavier Staten, and X marks the spot. The final points for BYU from Xavier Staten, 98-67. Carrington knocks a three down to end the game. And so 98-70 will be your final score. The Cougs win it by 28. Nearly the century mark for the Cougs and a bounce-back win over the Badgers, and what a win for BYU. 98-70, the Cougs go to 4-1 on the year. Next up for BYU, Thanksgiving in Orlando. We are off to South Florida next week, Mark. BYU in Miami on Thursday, and then Georgetown or Dayton on Friday. As for me, I'm off to the airport. I've got a flight in about an hour to Cincinnati. And so, I'm going to thank Cougar Nation for tuning in. And
I want this tomorrow. Don't come back here without a win tomorrow.
I'm going to let Jason Shepard and Mark Durant take you the rest of the way for Cougar Postgame Live and the BYU Creamery Cougar Postgame Coaches Show. I will talk to you next from Cincinnati tomorrow night. Jason and Mark the rest of the way. Final score here today, BYU 98 and Wisconsin 70. Number 9 beats number 23 on the home floor of the Utah Jazz. And this is Cougar Basketball on the new skin, BYU Sports Network.
Hey there. Sing like nobody's watching Highway Pop Star. All the road's a stage, and your time has finally come to sing your little heart out. You can't win Roadway Idol if you don't practice. And what better way than in this soundproof booth on wheels? And for some ears that really want to listen, try Ken Garff. In or out of tune, we hear you.
This is the sound of catering your own event. This is the sound of BYU Food to Go, catering your event. For a more tranquil event experience, use BYU Food to Go, pickup or delivery. Order online at dining.byu.edu or call us at 801-422-5001.
Every business has a rival with bigger billboards, flashier ads. You know, the one with the slick AI bot. Like BYU.